federal government or the big insurance company cronies tell you that you don't have a choice. Call us at 317-435-1718 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-435-1718 or rragency.org. We can help. Give us a call. What do you got to lose? As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
The traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Here's Matt Baer.
In east side, stop and go traffic northbound 465 from East 56th Street up to Allisonville Road. And then it's a crash southbound 65 after stop 11 Road. That's been pushed over to the shoulder, but we do have a vehicle in a ditch. Traffic sponsored by G&G Fitness Equipment in the Fashion Mall Commons. The G&G Fitness Equipment New Year, New You sale is happening now. Save on treadmills, ellipticals, complete home gyms, and spin bikes. Special financing is available. See store for details. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Should be a brighter day today with a mix of sun and clouds this afternoon. High temperatures in the mid-40s. Lows tonight near freezing, and we're in store for a light wintry mix on Thursday with our highs in the upper 30s. I'm Wish TV, Storm Track 8, Stephanie Meade for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
Certainly keeping an eye on what's happening with the Speaker of the House voting and Kevin McCarthy. And, well, certainly it's not unprecedented, although you'd have to go back over 100 years. So what is going on now is not very common. My name is Nigel. That's Jason Hammer. We'll have all the update information you need as the show progresses. Hammer, first show of 2023. How are you?
Good to be back. I missed all you crazy rascals, man. That was the longest vacation I've ever had, and it's good to be back in the mix, and unfortunately, it's like I never left. We're talking about a lot of the same stuff here. Drama in Washington, D.C., and violence in Indianapolis. So last night, I'm sitting around, I'm, watching some ball games, and I start getting some texts hearing about a shooting at the Castleton Square Mall. And kind of similar to what happened in Greenwood right before the holidays, there was a shooting in the parking lot. However, this time, there was a fatality. A juvenile died in that shooting. There was another person shot that was with the juvenile. We don't know the age, but they were legal adult. Suspect or person of interest, rather, taken into custody. And for what I'm being told, is cooperating, Nige.
Good. Well, I don't know what a juvenile's doing running around with, as you put it, a legal adult, and whoever would have guns, and like, who are these kids interacting with? Always keep track of your kids' friends, as far as I'm concerned. If you got an underage kid, if you got a juvenile, unfortunately, this teenage boy lost his life hanging out with people that were older than him and more than likely bad influences.
There was some sort of fight that took place in the parking lot.
That's what happens these days. That's how you solve problems these days with kids, is guns. It's not your fists. It's not your words. It goes straight to 100 miles an hour and beyond.
So here's the timeline of how this all played out. Just before 7:30 p.m., officers were sent to the Castleton Square Mall on a report of a person shot. Officers arrived. They located the juvenile and the man with injuries consistent with gunshot wounds in the parking lot. The teenager and the man were taken to St. Vincent's. The teenager was in critical condition on the scene and ultimately died as a result of the wounds. Police have a person of interest who is cooperating in custody. They said that it was a fight in the parking lot. So I guess the million-dollar question is whether it's the Greenwood Park Mall, whether it's the Castleton Square Mall, or maybe it's Monument Circle. Maybe it's up and down the bar district here on Meridian Street, like we saw with the Dutch Nationals. Oh, yeah. Why is there so much violence in the touristy type of places here in Indy?
Violence is down, according to Mayor Hogsett, 15%. We talked about some of the numbers yesterday. Violence and homicides are down. And my question to Tony Katz yesterday, as we were talking about this a little bit for Tuesdays with Tony, is, does that make you feel any safer?
No.
Does it make you feel any safer if you're walking up and down the streets of Indianapolis, if you're going to a crowded mall, whether it be Greenwood or Castleton. I mean, I used to love going to Castle Square Mall when I was a kid. Now, my parents never just dropped me off there and let me go run wild with my buddies. There was always some sort of supervision there. It seems like one of the problems these days, especially these malls are having, Circle Center or wherever, is that parents just drop their kids off and let them run wild and say, hey, see you in 8 hours.
Right. And that's a problem in all of the counties because Greenwood does not fall into the category of Indianapolis. Greenwood's Johnson County. But even as a kid that grew up on the south side, I used to go to the mall all the time with my buddies. You know, you just have your driver's license, you're 16 years old. It's either go out to a movie or go to the mall or something. Your options were kind of limited.
Yeah, I was Lafayette Square Mall, actually, when I was either Lafayette Square if I wanted to drive a little further to Castleton. And then at least with Lafayette Square Mall now, some people sink a bunch of money into it that it's turning it into some sort of, world market kind of district where there's tons of, different ethnically diverse cultures and shops and restaurants and things like that there. Really sad to see, though, what's going on in some of these other malls. It's just gone downhill.
And Castleton Square, I mean, let's be completely honest. If you're from Indy, let's have a real conversation. This was known as the mall that you would go to if you didn't feel safe at Circle Center, right? Circle Center here downtown kind of had that aura about it of, yeah, if you're going to go there, make sure you're leaving before the sun goes down.
Yeah.
But Castleton Square, that was supposed to be the rich folks, right? These were the richy riches. This is the nice mall. And as Rick Snyder, the president of the FOP, says all the time, the violence in central Indy is expanding throughout the city, throughout the county, and even going into other counties now. So another night of the same crap here in Indianapolis. Sounds like 2023 is off to the same start that 2021 and 2022 had, where we're talking about already multiple homicides in the city, and we're not even 4 days through this new year yet. So I sent you a text message when I was in Nashville the last couple of days, Nigel. And again, I have been to Nashville a couple of times last couple of years. Stayed a couple nights each visit. Went down for the IndyCar race, stayed a few nights. Went down for my son's birthday, stayed a few nights. What I've noticed is that when I walk up and down the main touristy strip of Nashville, Broadway Street, where all the honky-tonks and stuff are at, I don't see a lot of the same problems Indy has, even though Nashville has a Democratic mayor. Same with Milwaukee. I went up to a Cubs road game in Milwaukee, stayed a few nights this past year. Democrat mayor in Milwaukee, I didn't see panhandling all over the streets of Milwaukee. I didn't see bums laying in the road. Now, maybe they do, and I just happened to be there at a magical time where I didn't see it. But I've been to Nashville a couple of times, stayed a couple nights, and I admit I just hang out in the touristy section.
Yeah.
But compare that to Monument Circle. You walk around Monument Circle, you're going to find everything from 8 to 10 homeless people laying around, or like that one guy that's outside of our building that pleasures himself.
Weirdo. I think with Nashville, obviously, I would consider Nashville an international tourist destination. So Democrat, Republican, whatever, you're going to damn well be sure to clean up your streets. And the Democrats that run the city there knows where the money comes from, and it's from tourism. It's a cultural epicenter of the Midwest, Nashville, Tennessee. And there's just not that sort of feel in Indianapolis.
But why not, though?
I don't think there's any. I mean, yeah, we've got the Colts. We've got places to eat. We've got maybe in the summer, maybe on Mass Ave.
We've hosted Super Bowls. We host the
Super
Final
Bowls.
Four on the regular.
Yeah, right.
Nashville doesn't do that. They've got an amazing strip of restaurants and bars and honky-tonks. But when you look at the size of the cities here, there's no reason that Monument Circle and our touristy areas should not have that same feeling as Broadway in Nashville or even walking around the downtown area of Milwaukee. It's all bars and places that get sausages and brats and those types of things. So that was something that's really caught my attention the last couple of times, because Indianapolis should be like that. This is a beautiful, vibrant city when it's right. When this city is cleaned up, there's not a better mid-market to major city in America. You can walk anywhere in the city. It's all connected. There's all kinds of different things to do.
Well, did you say there's more to do and more experiences in Nashville as compared to Indianapolis? Especially if you're a lover of live music.
If you're a lover of live music, absolutely. Nashville. But Milwaukee. Let's just talk about Milwaukee then. Indianapolis, I think, has more to do in its downtown, and it's more connected than Milwaukee. But when I walked back and forth down the bar district in Milwaukee, even down to the arena where the Milwaukee Bucks play, which is about 2 or 3 blocks down, I did not see the same things that I see here in Indy, even though it's all Democrat mayors. Why is Indy so bad? Why have we let this city get to the point to where you look at a place like Milwaukee or Nashville? They're downtowns and they're touristy areas. I'm not talking about anywhere else, because I had a couple people send me tweets saying, well, I've lived in Nashville. I have homeless all the time. I'm sure you do. Every major city does. But the major places where people like me want to go and spend their money, the tourist areas, it's night and day compared to what we have here in Indy. All right, Matt Bear, what is going on?
Northeast side, northbound 465, stop and go traffic after East 56 up to Allisonville Road. And then a crash southbound 65 after stop 11 Road. It's on the right shoulder, a vehicle in a ditch, slowing us down a little bit there. Traffic is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Stores are a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Explore more at your local Staples store, staplesconnect.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
45 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Again, keeping our eye on what's happening on the House floor. Kevin McCarthy has just lost his 5th attempt to become the House Speaker. We'll have more on this live coverage all throughout the afternoon. Keep it locked right here to 93 WIBC.
Happening right now.
Things are happening.
A rail strike in the middle of the holidays.
Supply chain bottlenecks.
And make inflation worse.
And they're happening here.
Embarrassing, bad, downright ugly.
Washington now has a check and balance.
At the top and bottom of the hour.
More expensive airfare. The Chinese government.
Pressure on Iran.
Hate has no place in this country.
Check in often.
Understand what's happening.
Always check for the latest local news.
On 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hi guys, it's Mark. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction? Did you know that a major medical breakthrough is now available and it isn't a pill? Today, Wednesday, January 4th, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pine Grove Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. It's backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge. If you're ready to regain the spark in your bedroom, today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce rapid and powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is an unprecedented offer worth hundreds of dollars, but call today and qualify totally free. Call 317-552-1111. That's 317-552-1111. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your life back. Call Pine Grove Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today, Wednesday. 317-552-1111.
Well-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
That inflatable reindeer in your yard could be an Easter reindeer, right? And Christmas in July is a thing, so you might as well leave the lights up until then? Whatever excuse you tell yourself, you know it's time to take down those decorations. If taking them down means storing them in your basement or crawl space, you might spend the next 11 months wondering if they'll stay dry enough to use next time. Nobody wants a soggy, moldy reindeer. You owe it to Rudolph to get in touch with Indiana Foundation Service. Indiana Foundation Service will waterproof your basement or crawl space. Waterproofing your basement or crawl space does more than just protect your stored belongings. It also protects the structural integrity of your home and improves the air you breathe. Give new meaning to a happy, healthy new year with a waterproofed basement or crawl space from Indiana Foundation Service. Schedule a free inspection at indianafoundation.com.
Indiana Foundation Service. Reliability from the ground up.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet?
Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
2 people in Florida.
Oh, of course.
I kind of sound like Fetterman right there. The Eagles! Florida! 2 people in Florida were arrested last weekend. One of them actually called 911. And it wasn't to call, and turn the other person in that they were robbing them with. It was actually to call 911 to help them with moving stuff from the home that they were robbing.
All right, hold on. There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, 2 people arrested in Florida. One of them called 911. Okay. I would have assumed, this one person would be like, "Look, I don't want to be a part of this. I'm going to call 911 and have them come pick this other person up. I'm done with the thug lifestyle, right?" No, they called 911 to help with moving stuff from the home that they were robbing.
Like 911 is some sort of 2 men in a truck, and they're going to show up and help these criminals transport the hot goods.
They showed up. There's a female thief. She said it. They called 911 to ask law enforcement to help them move the stuff from the house they were robbing and to give them a ride to the airport because they were going to New York. So it's twofold reason for the 911 call. Not to turn themselves in or turn their lives around, but to ask for help moving. And by the way, when you get done helping me move this hot merchandise out of a house that's not ours, we need a ride to the airport.
Like 911 doesn't have anything better to do than to act like your moving company and an Uber for you at the same time. So I assume, I'm just going to go out here on a limb, Nige, that when 911 arrived, they did not help transport the goods.
They were taken to jail, where they were both charged with burglary.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. If you're that much of a moron to be doing that in the first place, you're probably that much of a moron to call 911 and ask for help. Which brings us to great moments in 911 call history.
My favorite.
I believe this was also in Florida, where 2 dudes pulled up to a stoplight, got out, set up a table, and start eating pancakes.
Lincoln Police Department up at 508.
I've got a problem, or you guys got one before somebody gets ran over. There's 2 guys sitting at a table in the middle of the crosswalk, in the middle of a green light, eating pancakes.
That was a little unusual. We do have
unusual. He's one of the guys who's got a mouthful of gold teeth cussing everybody.
2 dudes just set up in the middle of an intersection and started pounding some pancakes?
Right. Just going
that's
about
wonderful.
their business like, the Blues Brothers scene where they're in the fancy restaurant. Just except for instead of throwing shrimp in each other's mouth, they're cutting up pancakes. Great moments in 911 call history.
Love these.
This is one of my favorites. The couple that thought they were going to die because they had too much weed.
I think I'm having an overdose of the stores, my wife.
Overdose of what?
Marijuana. I don't know if it had something in it. Can you please send rescue?
Did you guys have fever or anything?
No, I think we're dying.
Okay, how much did you guys have?
I don't know. We made brownies, and I think we're dead. Time is going by really, 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 really slow.
I just sit back and enjoy the experience, pal. It just depends on what kind of strain you get. I've had buddies that have taken hits off like just bad strains. They just become truly paranoid and very scared, and their heart starts beating. And the next thing you know, take me to the hospital. Take me to the hospital. I'm having a heart attack. I've seen it happen firsthand, not with me, but you get a bad strain, then that's always a possibility.
Here's a little free advice from Uncle Hammer to you. If you can tell someone, I think we're dead, you're probably not. Just throwing that out there.
I didn't think of it that way.
Last one, great moments in 911 call history. This was where a dude who was clearly on something decided to make sweet, passionate love to a woman's tree.
There's a guy out on the street, and he is, really screwed up. I don't know if it's, bath salts or what it is, but he's trying to get into my neighbor's car. He ran up on us. We have children. He's talking about he's gone. He's like obviously tripping. He's in my neighbor's yard.
His pants are down, or?
Yes, he is trying to a tree.
Great moments in 911 call history. So the last couple weeks, Nige, I've been out.
Oh, man.
Thanks to all the awesome guest hosts that came in here. Brian Baker, Tony Kennett, Guy Relford.
Sure.
Hat tip to all of those folks. Did you guys do like the New Year's resolution kind of specials and bits and those type of things?
Nah, man, there was a lot of news going on, actually. You know, for it being usually the quietest news weeks of the year, there's a lot of stuff going on, so we didn't really get into the kind of the fun stuff. None of that crap.
So
really.
The fact that quietly quitting was named phrase of the year for 2022 didn't make the show rundown?
I didn't see that. No, I didn't see quiet quitting was the phrase of the year. You know what that is, right? It's when you're at a job that you don't like, but you're too scared to quit. You don't want to quit because you don't want to lose a paycheck, but you're just doing the extreme minimal to get by, to eke your way by. And eventually, you know, somebody's going to catch on to what you're doing. By just doing the bare minimum, somebody is eventually going to fire you, but you're just not going to quit.
So the term for that is quietly quitting.
You're saying that was phrase of the year in last year, 2022.
Correct.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're a quiet quitter or not, but here at the Hammer and Nigel show, we were thinking about this whole quietly quitting process. And we put our record label, Hammer and Nigel Records, to work. And when we came up with this song, we were in a little bit of a Killing Me Softly kind of mood.
Okay.
Not doing much and nothing. Back again from the bathroom stall. So I can get busy loafing through my stupid job.
Quietly quitting.
I know my boss is watching, but I'll just keep right on losing his important papers, accidentally deleting the files, messing up projects on purpose, quietly quitting my bad job, doing just enough work to hang on, quietly quitting my sucky job.
That'll be in your head for the rest of the day.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Imagine if you could get a 35% bonus when you invest your money. That's right. If you invest $100,000, you get a $35,000 bonus. If you invest $200,000, you get a $70,000 bonus. And if it sounds too good to be true, it's not. And guess what? You'll sleep well at night knowing your money is protected by one of the highest rated insurance companies in the world. It's Terry Stacy, and to learn more about this 35% bonus, call Bill Demery, my retirement guy, at 317-972-9172. A little diversification outside of the stock market could be a really good thing right about now. But this 35% bonus won't last forever. So call 317-972-9172. 317-972-9172.
It's Terry Stacy, and if you are really ready to take charge of your health and well-being in 2023, make Exercise Inc. a part of your life. Because the truth is, Exercise Inc. will change your life. Research shows that we gain about 5 pounds over the holidays, and then we work really hard for about 6 months to lose it. It's hard to lose extra weight on your own, but with an Exercise Inc. coach by your side, 20 minutes once a week, you'll lose the extra holiday weight much quicker, and you'll get stronger. And not to brag, but I can carry 2 20-pound kitty litter containers all around the store now, no problem. I think you're going to feel better than you ever have in years, and the change begins with that first 20-minute strength training session at Exercise Inc. I think most clients would say Exercise Inc. becomes a really good habit, and they stick with it for years. Try Exercise Inc.'s slow movement strength training method. Do something good for you 20 minutes once a week. Exercise Inc. 4 locations, exerciseinc.com.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here, letting you know that when you need plumbing help, call who I call, my friends at Hope Plumbing. They're locally owned and proud of their trustworthy, experienced plumbers who are ready to work for you. Hope Plumbing values the importance of keeping you safe. So if you notice a water leak, a clogged drain, or any other plumbing needs, Big or small, Hope Plumbing can fix them all. The next time you need a plumber, call Hope Plumbing, 641-HOPE, or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Still no leadership. Cloudy and 44 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Nothing on your radar, a low of 33 later. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:30. Republican leader Kevin McCarthy still is not Speaker of the House after a fourth vote. Republican Florida Representative Byron Donald says they're going to sort this out.
We're going to go back in and we're going to have this round of ballots and we're going to have more conversations. One thing I can tell you is nobody is at 218 votes right now. Nobody. But we're going to get this figured out and we're going to get this business done.
Donald's originally placed his vote for McCarthy, but changed it to himself during the fourth round of voting. You might think the House Speaker business is chaos, but Indiana Congressman-elect Greg Pence says that's not the case.
I don't think this is any more chaotic than the Democrats were over the last couple of years. What you see today in the Republican Party is an inclusion of all members' opinions.
He tells WIBC's Tony Katz that seeing an engagement of leadership is a good thing. Pence says he is voting for Kevin McCarthy to be the next speaker. The jobs of some employees at Salesforce in Indianapolis are at risk.
That's because Salesforce executives announced Wednesday that they're laying off 10% of their workforce worldwide. I'm Sean Herrick. As part of a restructuring plan, they call the move necessary because customers are taking a more cautious approach to spending with them after they hired a lot of employees during COVID. About 2,300 employees work at the Salesforce location in Indianapolis. Sean Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Governor Holcomb has announced his 2023 Next Level agenda, and included is some major changes to education and healthcare in Indiana.
We'll also be looking to something that I've wanted to get at for some time now, and that is eliminating the textbook fees for Hoosier families.
Holcomb says all traditional public and charter schools will cut textbook fees to help Indiana families. The average price for gas across Indiana today is $3.09 per gallon of regular, according to Gas Buddy. That's an increase of 4 cents from where the average was at the start of the week. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:32.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, above your eyes, below your eyes, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you've visited urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing. Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and nasal sprays. But the sinus infections keep coming back. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your sinus infections anymore. Set an appointment today with Indianapolis Sinus Center and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
With traffic at 3:33, what's going on, Matt Bear?
All right, Harrison, looking at southbound 65 and south of Stop 11 Road, that is a crashed vehicle in a ditch, and the right shoulder is blocked. Stop and go traffic on the northeast side, northbound 465 from East 56 up to Allisonville Road. Center lane blocked because of road construction. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Should be a brighter day today with a mix of sun and clouds this afternoon. High temperatures in the mid-40s. Lows tonight near freezing, and we're in store for a light wintry mix on Thursday with our highs in the upper 30s. I'm Wish TV, Storm Track 8, Stephanie Meade for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
My name is Nigel. Happy New Year, everybody. Hammer is back with a very special guest on the DriveHubler.com hotline.
Tony Kennett is the smartest guy in the room and not somebody you want to get into a Twitter beef with. Tony, we'll get to the Bob Siegel stuff here in just a little bit because I was out the better portion of the last 2 weeks. And
hilarious.
I definitely want a piece of that. But you and I, we're watching the same stuff here. We're watching this whole Speaker of the House drama unfold. What are your thoughts?
I have a very simple answer to this whole thing that everyone has going on. I'm hearing people telling me that
we need to get behind McCarthy because he can get the votes. No, we need to get behind someone who's not going to bow to the Democrats. No, we need this. No, we need that. But then when I watch the same coverage that you two are watching, we're hearing about all these backroom deals and we're going to run the ballots again and this person doesn't have the vote and this person does. I have a pretty simple solution. Why doesn't Fox, the Daily Wire, and Newsmax, just picking 3 Republican-siding media institutions, why don't they air some kind of a debate process? I would like to hear the Speaker of the House nominees address the GOP members of the House and tell them why they should be elected. Let's hear it. They're going to be my Speaker of the House, third in line to be the President of the United States, as much as either of anyone else's. I don't see why they can't address the entire populace, and then we see the votes come in. Just like any other election campaign, don't you deserve to know why Kevin would be the best or worst speaker? That just makes sense to me.
Jim Jordan did do a little bit of that yesterday, although it seemed like he was campaigning for himself as much as it's Kevin.
Good. I mean,
Kevin
if
McCarthy.
he's a nominee, he should be telling us why he's good. That makes sense to me.
And ultimately, is the rest of the world watching this like Joe Biden says it was? Because yesterday, Joe Biden comes out and, he's mumbling, and I guess we're just happy he wasn't falling off of a bike at this point, but he comes out and says, the whole world is watching and it's an embarrassment, something to that ilk. Is this an embarrassment to the country, what's happening right now, or is this the way that it's supposed to be?
It's not an embarrassment. I do not care what some peon in France thinks about our House debates. Other countries around the world have debates. Right now, the Republican Party is in a crisis because you have the establishment, you have traditional conservatives, you have right-leaning libertarians, and then you have populists vying for control of the party. No matter what you say, we have a two-party system. It's just the way that it is. And so right now, one of the two parties is going through an identity crisis. So we need to figure this out. I am more concerned about who ends up getting the gavel than I am about what Jim from Botswana has to say about an embarrassment in the U.S.
Tony Kennett with us. He's the investigative columnist for the Daily Signal. So I talked about this when I went on with Kendall and Casey earlier today. In one of the early Police Academy movies, there's a character named Tackleberry, and Tackleberry loved guns. He was a big gun guy. There was an incident where he missed out on the gunplay, and he was upset. So I kind of felt like Tackleberry the last couple of weeks because there was a story about Camp Atterbury, and I was on vacation. Now, I called into the show here once.
You did, yeah. Brian was filling in, yeah.
But I kind of missed out on being on the air, and it wasn't just myself feuding with Bob Siegel at Channel 13. You got involved as well, Tony.
Not only did Tony get involved, but at some point, like, our names weren't even involved anymore on the arguments. Like, Hammer and Nigel got left out of some of these, and I got confused as to where these tweets were going, and who was involved, and he wasn't even mentioning our show anymore, and it was just him and Tony going back and forth at it. It was hilarious.
Well, I'm always glad to provide a little bit of humor from Twitter. Rob points out that whenever I get in a Twitter feud, he just takes the day off and watches me go at it with somebody. Honestly, I have a little bit of a beef, a little bit of a pet peeve with local journalists who walk around preening whenever they're out about how they are just the defenders of democracy and how they're just so wonderful and investigative. And I grew up watching some of these guys. I did. I used to watch channels, 6, 8, 13, 59, the Indiana 4, and watched what they were doing with news. And the older that I grew, I started to realize that a lot of these journalists were just full of themselves and basically would print whatever they wanted to get their political points across, which is what happened with Bob. Bob called out Hammer because Hammer had some inside sources, some of them on boots on the ground at Atterbury, who said, hey, these Afghani refugees are tearing up the place. They're pooping everywhere. They're getting into fights. They might be stealing things.
Vandalism.
And so Hammer, like your average, everyday, normal run-of-the-mill guy, he says, wow, that's pretty crazy. And he talks about it. And Bob says, I'm going to write a story about that and call him wrong. And he gets out the fact checker, where they have the special picture for true, false, and needs context. And they slap up a story. Well, now it turns out that the Pentagon is actually issuing $16 million to camps who hosted Afghani migrants. And what is this $16 million for? It's for damages. Now we're finding out from individuals over at Atterbury that the Afghani migrants caused a lot of damages. And so, therefore, Bob's reporting was misleading at best, wrong, and honestly quite dishonest. I'm out on it because I have very little time for Indiana journalists who think that they're above the truth and factual reporting because they go get their information from Camp Mom and then call themselves an investigative reporter.
Right, because Bob Siegel of 13, and again, it brings so much joy to my dark heart knowing that this guy, his reputation in Indianapolis is now trash. He's known as the dumpster diving guy that butchered the Atterbury story, and that brings me
now
joy,
you need to
Tony
dive
Kennett.
through the dumpster to find one of his stories.
Wow.
But he went to Atterbury, and he went to like government officials, and surprise, surprise, they said everything was fine. You took some screenshots, though, and this is where it gets really interesting for me. What was the screenshot debate you had with him?
So there were a few different claims that he fact-checked. Now, he did omit several of the facts that you brought forward or the things that you heard on the air, which I do want to bring out a little bit of a point to. You made other claims about Afghani refugees trashing the camp, and he didn't fact-check those. He very carefully omitted because then he'd have to say that you got some stuff right in your radio segment. But some of the ones that he fact-checked, he rated a bunch of them false. And then he rated one thing. He said it needs context because the claim that was made is, hey, these refugees, these migrants are smearing poop all over Camp Atterbury. And so they were like, oh, this needs context. See, it's a cultural thing. In Afghanistan, they just poop wherever they want, which is an incredibly demeaning thing to say about someone, if you think about it, that they just poop wherever. And also from a lot of friends of mine who were veterans from the Afghanistan quote-unquote actions that we took over there. Nah, I don't think that's really quite true, but they have the needs context. Then, after this whole controversy broke, and I was actually sitting in the studio with Nigel taking these screenshots when this controversy started to break, WTHR started changing a lot of their ratings on it from needs context to true. They decided to actually go through and actually change some of their fact checks now that it turned out that Hammer was correct about some things. But they also didn't, when you're writing an article and you make an update or you make a correction, you're supposed to state in the article, hey, we have new information, we're updating it. When I was with Chalkboard Review, we did that a couple of times. And in fact, with the store with Hamilton Southeastern, you make it very clear, because I am reporting facts to you, I will let you know when I get new information. And they didn't do it, and he got caught. And so he backed himself into like 13 different corners. It was like watching a third grader try to get out of a lie that he told by telling additional lies. I was embarrassed for him.
Tony Kennett, got a couple minutes left here. Daily Signal, investigative reporter. What are you working on this? What's this headline with Axios? Axios lies for Arkansas school caught teaching critical race theory.
You guys remember how we were told that no schools in the country are teaching critical race theory?
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, please.
Was that verified from Channel 13, too?
Teaching it. Oh, yeah, of course. Channel 13 and Channel 6 and even Fox 59. No one's teaching CRT. That's silly. That's nonsense. It's a graduate theory. And now we have not just audio, but a PowerPoint presentation verified in this high school English class in which a teacher said, okay, guys, here's what critical race theory is. And then he told them its entire history. And he told them what it was good for and why it was a wonderful thing and great for racial justice and why we should use it in our lives and in our academic subjects and whatever. And so a group reported on it in Arkansas. And then Axios released an article with their Arkansas branch that said, no, this isn't happening. Oh, this isn't happening at all. And then someone reached out to Worth Sparkman with the information and it's like, hey, we actually have evidence that your story is wrong. Would you update it? Would you maybe issue an apology? And he refused. And so, again, we're catching journalists in lies that are covering up for schools that are being dishonest.
And, Tony, it feels like there's a real reckoning in this country right now, whether it's from the Twitter files or stories like this, where I think the average daily citizen is starting to finally wake up and say, you know what? Just because certain media members say something, I don't believe a damn word coming out of their mouths.
When I was at Indianapolis Public Schools, I was given a piece of paper that said, if anyone asks you if we're teaching critical race theory, here is what you are to say in response. They gave me a script, and the script was a bold-faced lie. And so I released a video that basically told the public, hey, we are being told to lie to you. And when you are told something that doesn't sound right, keep digging, because I am not allowed to tell you. And that is my same advice that I am giving to parents, to community members, to your average citizen. Keep digging. Don't take my word for it. Go digging yourself. I want you to fact check what it is that I'm saying. In Scripture, this is called being a Berean. And back when Paul was preaching to this congregation, the people in the congregation would fact check Paul. They would have the scroll in front of them, and they would be double checking what he said. And Paul commended them for that. Said that's a really smart and wise thing to do. And so if you're an average everyday citizen out there, fact check what people are saying yourself. It will cause you to do the research, and it is more beneficial for you and those in your community.
Well, Tony, personally, I just want to say thank you for filling in for me a little bit while I was gone. This was the longest vacation I ever had. It was use it or lose it vacation time, and I certainly didn't want to just lose it. So thank you for taking time out to fill in on this show.
Hey, it is an absolute pleasure. And Nigel and I were just concerned that you were getting blasted on that lemonade and Everclear concoction that you guys were enjoying.
That was some good drinking, I'm not going to lie. Tony Kennett, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, bud.
Anytime, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Every small business owner knows business happens everywhere. The office, the warehouse, or on the road. And no matter where it takes you, there's one solution to help your business thrive. Comcast Business Complete Connectivity. It's the largest, fastest, reliable network with advanced gig speed Wi-Fi and cyber threat protection in one solution. Plus, add Comcast Business Mobile and you can save up to 60% a year on your wireless bill. Get started for just $40 a month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. And ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card.
Flight 291 is now boarding.
Yep, you're going places. And when you get there, be ready to do business. The complete connectivity solution from the company that powers more small businesses than any other provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/21/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New 100 megabits per second internet and Comcast Business Security Edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Gig internet required for gig Wi-Fi. Mobile savings compares pricing of top 3 carriers.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Guy Relford here. Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show this coming weekend at the State Fairgrounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all. Also, lose all the weight and let Mark Patrick Hypnosis destroy your unwanted cravings. Seminars January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss 5:30 p.m., stop smoking 8 p.m. Or January 21st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m., stop smoking 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
They have a sixth ballot underway for Speaker of the House. We'll have an update for you right after a look at the roads with Matt Baer.
Carmel Keystone Parkway stop-and-go traffic before 106th Street, and an awful delay on the east side, northbound 465 stop-and-go east 56 to Allisonville Road. There is road construction blocking the center lane. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
45 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Tell me if you've seen this movie before. New ballot, same results.
Oh, 6 times the charm. Not exactly, huh?
Kevin McCarthy has lost on a 6th ballot to become the Speaker of the House. Voting is underway now, but there's already enough votes to prevent Kevin McCarthy from becoming the Speaker of the House. So we will see what happens after this. Will they adjourn for the day? Will they take a couple days off? Or are they going to get right back to it, doing the same thing over and over again?
There's some Democrats looking to be sworn in that are pretty annoyed with this whole process as well. It's not just Republicans.
Right.
I'm glad they're just not shoving somebody out there in front of us that say, hey, this is who you got, this is who you are voting for. I like that aspect of it. It's not so, I don't know, shall we say, communisy?
Ooh,
you know, would you just
there.
you just put somebody out there and say, all right, this is who you're voting for, and you're all going to vote for him. I respect that process at least.
So we've got some good old-fashioned racism from Cori Bush, one of the Democratic representatives, because some of the Republicans have put Byron Donalds' name in the mix. That's who's stealing some of these other votes, if you want to call it that, from Kevin McCarthy. Byron Donalds is a black man. Representative Cori Bush of Missouri, kind of a glorified member of the squad, like a squad wannabe. She puts on Twitter, quote, "For what it's worth, Byron Donalds is not a historic candidate for Speaker. He's a prop. Despite being black, he supports an agenda intent on upholding and perpetuating white supremacy. His name being in the mix is not progress, it's pathetic."
Translation, he doesn't think like I do, so racism.
I mean, that's unbelievably, that's wildly racist, but it's coming from a black woman. So does she have a pass to get away with this? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have a lot more on this coming up after the top of the hour. We'll recap every single thing going on with the race for the Speaker of the House. Big Nige, I can't believe that I came back today. I should have taken another day off because it's a special day in American history. 18 years ago on this very date, in 2005, at the Orange Bowl, the college football championship game, Oklahoma against USC, one of the worst halftime shows of all time took place. Ashley Simpson was the headliner. Now, listen to this lineup. Trace Adkins, Kelly Clarkson, and Ashley Simpson. Trace Adkins and Kelly Clarkson, good. Okay, any one of them being the headliner would be fine. But for some reason, they made Ashley Simpson the headliner. And this was, I think, just a couple weeks removed from her disaster on Saturday Night Live, where she got busted lip singing.
Yeah.
And the track started to skip.
Yeah.
So whoever put
awful.
this halftime show together thought, hot damn, let's make that the grand finale. And she wanted everybody to know that she wasn't lip singing because the singing was horrific. It was an awful song, and I've never heard somebody get booed this loudly at a stadium before that wasn't a player. Take a listen. Wait for it.
Kelly Clarkson, Trace Atkins, Ashley Simpson, part of our halftime show at the FedEx Orange Bowl.
Wow. That was awful. I don't remember it being that bad.
Oh, I remember watching it live. It was so hilarious. Because imagine you're like an Oklahoma fan, right? You're at the national championship game. You're down in South Beach. Your team's getting their doors blown off by a pretty good USC team, but at least you got a halftime show coming up. And Trace Adkins, he's country. You might like him.
Yeah.
Everybody likes Kelly Clarkson. She's kind of America's sweetheart. But then Ashley Simpson goes up there, and if the game wasn't gross enough for you, you had to listen to her scream and then get booed for about 5 minutes.
Is she still married to the dude with the mascara?
You're going to have to be more specific.
The guy in the band that wears the mascara? Is that still not doing it?
Oh, Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
It's a different time now. It could have been literally any band, Nige. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
You don't have to go through yet another year with that knee pain or back pain. Hoosiers with chronic joint pain are getting real lasting relief from QC Kinetics. Tony Katz here, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine, utilizing protocols that use healing agents from your own body to target aching joints, repairing and restoring damaged tissue. You can move again with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. So if you have shoulder pain, hip pain, if you have arthritis pain or lingering pain from an injury, do not let them operate on you or give you more steroids. Say no to the pain pills. Call QC Kinetics in Eagle Creek and Greenwood. See if their life-changing all-natural treatments can get you living your best life in the new year. I'm telling you, people right here in Indy are raving about these treatments. This is the future of joint pain management, and appointments are available as soon as the next week. Make 2023 the year you say goodbye to joint pain. Call QC Kinetics right now in Eagle Creek and Greenwood. It's a totally free consultation. Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Experience the future of connectivity with Spectrum One. You get Spectrum Internet delivering the fastest speeds in the nation for $49.99 a month. Advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced privacy and security, free for 12 months. And a Spectrum mobile line with unlimited talk, text, and data, plus nationwide 5G, free for 12 months. That's Spectrum One. Visit Spectrum.com or your local Spectrum store today. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with TrueHold. TrueHold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And TrueHold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since TrueHold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit TrueHold.com and discover how much TrueHold will buy your home for today. Based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's TrueHold.com.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Buy 4 tires and get up to $200 in savings after rebate at Bell Tire's year-end sale. Or get even more in Bell Tire gift cards, December 26th through January 7th. Plus, get tires as low as $49 after rebate. Get up to $200 in savings. Or get even more in gift cards, December 26th through January 7th. Get up to $200 in savings and choose the lowest tire price period at Bell Tire. 100 years of getting folks safely back on the road fast and affordably. See store or belltire.com for details. Restrictions apply.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Governor Holcomb announced his agenda for next year. A Hoosier politician weighs in on the debate for Speaker of the House, and Salesforce announced today layoffs. That's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
Travel plans for the president. Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden telling reporters he intends to visit the southern border as part of a trip to Mexico City next week for meetings with the Mexican and Canadian leaders, though details are still being worked out. He has long faced Republican-led criticism for not visiting the border during a record surge of migrants, which continues. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas speaking to Washington Post Live.
We're operating within a system that is fundamentally broken. No one disagrees with that. We just can't seem to agree upon the solution, and a solution is long overdue.
Also saying again that they are preparing for the eventual end of Title 42, a pandemic-related restriction on asylum seekers. The president's comments coming on a visit to Kentucky, using infrastructure as a marker of bipartisanship, alongside Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell on a bridge in his home state.
I'm proud of what we've been able to accomplish working together.
In the House, Republicans, now holding a slim majority, are still trying to elect a speaker. President Biden calls that embarrassing for the country.
You know, to be able to have a Congress that can't function is just embarrassing. We're the greatest nation in the world. How can that be?
House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy has fallen short of the votes needed in 5 ballots so far, with a group of conservatives opposing him. The mastermind of a college admissions cheating scheme just sentenced to 3.5 years in prison. Rick Singer getting the longest time behind bars in the bribery scandal that swept up some of the nation's most prestigious universities and a slew of wealthy parents, including celebrities, who paid to buy their kids' way into top-tier schools. Prosecutors wanted 6 years for Singer, whose cooperation helped unravel the scheme. The Dow up 133 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
His next agenda, 44 degrees and cloudy in downtown Indy. Nothing on your radar. The low tonight, just above freezing to 33. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Governor Eric Holcomb has announced his 2023 Next Level agenda, and included is some major changes to education and healthcare in the state.
We'll also be looking to something that I've wanted to get at for some time now, and that is eliminating the textbook fees for Hoosier families.
Holcomb says all traditional public and charter schools will cut textbook fees to help Indiana families. Debating on who should be the next Speaker of the House is a process that Indiana Republican Congressman-elect Jim Banks appreciates. However,
this has been a healthy process, but the longer it drags out, it eventually becomes unhealthy and unproductive, and it's not the type of leadership that the American people elected us to provide when they gave us the majority. So
he tells WIBC's Tony Katz that he wants Republican Kevin McCarthy to be the next Speaker of the House. Even though he is flawed, Banks believes McCarthy is the best option. A speaker, though, still has not been named. IMPD is investigating a fatal shooting that happened northeast of downtown this afternoon, around 3:30 off Ingram Street. That's in a neighborhood east of 16th Street and Roosevelt Avenue. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene. No suspects have been named. Salesforce is laying off 10% of its workers and reducing office space in certain markets. The San Francisco-based tech company announced a restructuring plan today. Its co-chief executive wrote in a letter to employees the cuts are a result of customer spending with more caution, and the company now has a surplus of workers that were hired during a revenue surge. Gas prices have been steadily going up the past few weeks.
And many gas stations across Indiana will see an increase to $3.29 a gallon soon. I'm John Herrick. Some refineries across the U.S. were knocked offline late in 2022 because of the winter storm. That's driven prices up.
Keep in mind, refineries are outside, exposed to those elements, and when it gets really cold, valves can stick shut, sensors can freeze.
Gas Buddy's head of petroleum analysis, Patrick DeHaan, says the recent increases, though, could erode quickly, so you may just want to wait to fill up if you can. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Does runaway inflation and reckless spending in Washington have you worried about the security of your hard-earned retirement savings? If so, it's time to call the precious metals experts at Fisher Capital. Fisher Capital specializes in helping investors like you diversify their retirement portfolio and preserve wealth with physical gold and silver. Whether you're looking to acquire coins or bars, open a gold IRA, or just want to learn more about the advantages of owning precious metals, Fisher Capital will equip you with the knowledge to make an informed decision that's right for you and your family. Call Fisher Capital today at 800-376-4333. That's 800-376-4333. Mention WIBC when you call to get a free no-obligation investor kit. 800-376-4333. 800-376-4333. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Don't lose another night's sleep worrying about the security of your retirement savings. Call Fisher Capital. 800-376-4333.
With traffic on the 5s at 405, here's Matt Bear.
Harrison, we are stop and go on the east side. Northbound lanes 465 from East 56 to Allisonville Road. There is construction. And it's in the center lane. Could go on until 6 o'clock tonight. May want to think about using another way to get home if that's your normal way. Also a crash southbound 65 south of Stop 11 Road. Vehicle in a ditch off the right shoulder. Traffic sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For tonight, clouds will decrease, becoming partly cloudy. Low temperatures in the low to mid 30s. Tomorrow, a light wintry mix possible for the morning commute, mainly north. High temperatures get into the mid to upper 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
So what are we... Got a sixth vote? Are we in the middle of number 7? We're on to the 7th vote here for...
we haven't got to 7 yet, but we're on our way.
Kevin McCarthy losing multiple attempts to become House Speaker. Again, not unprecedented. Not for 100 years or so, at least. Usually it doesn't take this many votes. You got to go back a century for something like this. But a lot of people saying the United States, the Congress is in disarray. Part of me likes it. Part of me likes the fact that they're not just putting somewhere out there and everybody says yes, and it gets the votes they need, unanimous, and that's who we get, and you get who you get, and you don't throw a fit, basically. And this is sort of a different way of going about it.
So
Kevin McCarthy's an establishment guy.
Sixth
He's a swamper.
Ballot is underway right now, and it's already been decided. There's enough others' votes to keep Kevin McCarthy from becoming the speaker on the 6th ballot. So once they go through the procedural process and everybody has their official vote counted, we will move on to a 7th ballot. Now, whether that will be today, tomorrow, maybe later in the week, I have no idea, but it's not going to be the current ballot. So we will move on to a 7th. Now, news from Indiana is that Victoria Spartz, Representative Spartz, voted present earlier today. Now, the first day, she was in on voting for McCarthy. Now, she's a present vote. Now, keep in mind, a present vote counts, and in theory, if there's enough of them, that could give the Speaker of the House title to Hakeem Jeffries, the Democrat. So one would have to assume here that Victoria Spartz knew a couple things. Number one, if she's going to be the one that votes present, no other Republican's going to do that for running the risk of putting Jeffries in office.
Even if that happens, though, they can just move to vacate. I mean, it'd be embarrassment, but that wouldn't last very long. That wouldn't stay the same.
Right.
Right.
But this wasn't by accident, though. Spartz didn't do this by accident. There's bigger fish to fry here for her. Also, it gets her name recognition. And number 3, and we talked about this when we went on with Tony Katz earlier today, I think this is Victoria Spartz saying, who wants to make a deal with me? Who wants to bring me a candidate that I'm excited about and I can get some other folks to be excited about? And then maybe we'll fix this thing. Because clearly, Spartz going from McCarthy to a present tells me she's not in love with McCarthy.
Well, it tells me she's been having some conversations behind the scenes with certain people,
right,
to make deals. But put somebody else up there then. They have been doing that, right?
Right.
Who's the guy we were talking about?
So originally, yesterday, Jim Jordan was the guy that everybody was looking at, and today it's Byron Donalds. Neither one of them are going to get probably over 20 votes. 21 possibly if a couple people start to stray, but that is enough to keep this process going on and on until they find somebody that both sides will vote on. Now, the former president, Donald Trump, he put out a statement on his Truth Social, quote, "Take the victory and run." Now, that's basically Donald Trump saying, hey, vote for McCarthy and get down to business. But even some hardcore Trump backers, like Lauren Boebert, have taken to the House floor and said, no, maybe the former president needs to tell McCarthy to step down. Because that happened earlier today.
It didn't move the needle at all for the Freedom Caucus or anybody else.
As a matter of fact, Matt Gaetz, again, one of the main players in this Never McCarthy movement, responded to Donald Trump's statement. Now, keep in mind, Matt Gaetz is a Trump superfan, right? He has been on the coattails of number 45 for a long time. Quote, sad. So that's Matt Gaetz mocking Donald Trump with one of his famous lines. Sad. This changes neither my view of McCarthy, nor Trump, nor my vote. So here's Matt Gaetz saying, I still want to be friends with Trump. I'm not mad at McCarthy, but I'm not changing my vote either.
Can't have it both ways with Trump, by the way. There's no, you can't do one thing and say the other, or vice versa. And you can't have your cake and eat it too, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right. So here was Matt Gaetz yesterday calling for Jim Jordan to become the Speaker of the House.
Well, sometimes we have to do jobs that we don't really want to do. And sometimes we have to do jobs that we are called to do. And so, my colleagues, I rise to nominate the most talented, hardest working member of the Republican conference who just gave a speech with more vision than we have ever heard from the alternative. I'm nominating Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan is humble, perhaps today, humble to a fault. Maybe the right person for the job of Speaker of the House isn't someone who wants it so bad.
That was yesterday. And Chip Roy, representative from Texas. He's another kind of flamethrower that's against Kevin McCarthy. He also nominated Jordan yesterday.
And people ask me, what do you want? I want the tools or I want the leadership to stop the swamp from running over the average American every single day. We can't keep doing this. I'm going to sit here until we figure out how to stop spending money we don't have. I don't want any more empty promises. I don't want any more, oh, don't worry, trust us, we'll do it. I want to know that we're going to be able to exercise our rights as a member of this body to stand up for the American people and actually fix this country. Ladies and gentlemen, I am asking for us to come together and figure out how to solve these problems. And to do that, I'm going to do what I did my very first act as a member of Congress or as a congressman-elect and nominate Jim Jordan for Speaker.
Speaker's not a sexy gig. It's not a gig that everyone's built for. It's not a gig that everybody wants. It's hard. You got to be operationally, on point 100% of the time.
Jim Jordan, keep in mind, voted for Kevin McCarthy yesterday.
Yeah. Right.
It's not like he's running around beating his chest saying, hey, look at me.
He gave a speech similar to what you just heard there for those other two congressmen and said vote for McCarthy.
So that was yesterday. Fast forward 24 hours later, today's action saw Matt Gaetz put Byron Donalds' name in the mix for Speaker. And once again, here is Texas Chip Roy.
So this is what the chamber looks like when we're actually debating and the bodies are in the chairs. How many times have we been down here giving speeches and there's not a soul in the chamber? Yet this is what it takes to get 435 people in the chamber and have an actual debate. The American people are watching, and that's a good thing. What we're doing is exercising our rights to vote and have a debate and have a discussion about the future of this country through the decision of choosing a speaker.
Yeah, exactly. They're just not shoving somebody out there and everybody votes unanimous and there's no debate, there's no discussion, there's a quote-unquote vote, but we all know how the votes turn out.
Right. And that's kind of what Tucker was talking about last night on his program. What you're seeing right now, the Democrats are going to run a parade saying dysfunction, dysfunction. But this is the way that it should be.
Now, the fact that this race has not been settled by now is being described, especially online, by many as embarrassing. And it is embarrassing if you prefer the Soviet-style consensus of the Democratic Party's internal elections, where votes are merely a formality and all the really big decisions, the meaningful ones, are made years in advance by donors. Oh, of course, everyone's on board. That's what they do. But if you prefer democracy to oligarchy, if you prefer real debates about issues that actually matter, it's pretty refreshing to see it. Yes, it's a little chaotic, but this is what it's supposed to be.
So, in a way, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe civil discourse, taking its time and not rushing into something, is a good thing. But we live in a news cycle where everything has to be done real quickly or people are going to say it's dysfunction.
You know, if there was word that McCarthy was looking to cut a deal with Hakeem Jeffries, basically Jeffries tells a certain number of his caucus to sit out the next vote, which would lower the threshold for McCarthy to win. But the question is, you know, what would that deal look like? What would that be? What is McCarthy giving up? Or it could be that Hakeem Jeffries drags McCarthy's carcass across the finish line and McCarthy spends the next few years bickering and fighting with his own party and not the Democrats. Civil war with the Republicans for the next 2 years. Give me my tinfoil hat, baby.
Pass that tinfoil hat to Big Nige. Put it on, baby. All right, Matt Bear's got to look at the roads.
East side, northbound 465, stop and go. East 56 up to Allisonville Road. It is a construction zone from 69 to Allisonville. Center lane is blocked. Could clear around 6 o'clock tonight. Southbound 465, stop and go 70 down to 74. Again, that's the east side. Then on the southwest side, eastbound 465 slowing up Kentucky over to the White River. Traffic sponsored by Unbound.org. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
44 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
Imagine if you could get a 35% bonus when you invest your money. That's right. If you invest $100,000, you get a $35,000 bonus. If you invest $200,000, you get a $70,000 bonus. And if it sounds too good to be true, it's not. And guess what? You'll sleep well at night knowing your money is protected by one of the highest rated insurance companies in the world. It's Terry Stacy, and to learn more about this 35% bonus, call Bill Demery, my retirement guy, at 317-972-9172. A little diversification outside of the stock market could be a really good thing right about now. But this 35% bonus won't last forever. So call 317-972-9172. 317-972-9172.
You know, thank goodness I have energy-efficient Window Nation windows installed in my house. We've had some crazy weather this year. Energy prices are through the roof. And you can save up to 30% on your heating bills alone, plus increase the value of your home with brand new energy-efficient windows from Window Nation. 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years, 0 interest, plus 2 free windows with every 2 you buy. Go to windownation.com/home show and try their free virtual visualizer. Sounds pretty cool.
Remember this phone number, 866-90-NATION, or go to the website, windownation.com. Pay no interest for 5 years. Plus, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, any style of window from Window Nation. And there's no limit. So you're going to save thousands of dollars on your new window. Your energy bills will get down low because these windows are energy efficient. But you have to act right now. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Dan Dockage for Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, and I got to tell you, I see why. Since I started a testosterone replacement program with Affinity, my energy, mental focus, drive, everything is up, and the physical benefits are amazing. Check them out at feelgreatindy.com. Guys, you can improve the way you look, the way you feel. You can build muscle and lose fat. Affinity will give you the roadmap. Go to feelgreatindy.com. That's feelgreatindy.com.
Guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Schedule your complete health assessment at Low T Center. They now offer the convenience of monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments for $155 a month cash pay or covered by most health insurance. If you don't live near a Low T Center or you just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy to get started on treatment. Only your first 2 visits are in person. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Well-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
WIBC Bank, leading the way to your financial wellness. No matter where your financial journey begins, Pathways banking options at WIBC are designed with your goals in mind. WIBC Bank, building strong financial futures, one family, one street, one city at a time. WIBC, your partner in building business and growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything? On 93 WIBC.
Hammer, how do we play? Is this anything?
I'll run some stories by you. You break down all of the information that's been presented, and you give us a verdict. Is the story anything or not? We start with this. Apparently, over the last few years, a trend of eating your Christmas tree has become more and more popular. Here is a woman who is an author of the book, How to Eat Your Christmas Tree, talking about the different ways you can eat your Christmas tree.
How to Eat Your Christmas Tree is a cookbook that explores the unsung edible heroes of our forests, the humble Christmas trees and their evergreen friends. In the US and UK alone, 40 million trees are harvested and thrown away each year. My Little Green Cookbook's 22 delicious recipes, with ideas such as Christmas tree cured salmon, spruce flavoured ice cream, and Christmas tree alcohol.
It was that book written by Greta Thunberg.
How to Eat Your Christmas Tree. How dare you?
How to eat it. That was part of AOC's Green New Deal, wasn't it? It's one of the rules.
Did somebody yell that to her at a speech? We've got to eat the Christmas trees.
No, this is nothing, and this is only for people that are clinically insane, or you're so rich that you don't have anything to do, you don't have to work, so this is what you fill your time with, how to eat Christmas trees. Could you imagine having enough free time on your hands to take your Christmas tree and turn it into booze? A lot of sap in here. Little full, lot of sap. That is the only, what else you could do with your real Christmas tree is throw it on a bonfire. I know plenty of people that have bonfires, plenty of farmers. My buddy Dylan sent out a text last week. Look, if y'all got any live Christmas trees, we're going to set up a bonfire in a couple of weeks. Bring it over.
You know how hard it is not to quote just Christmas Vacation lines over and over again? Because when you said something about a tree, the first thing that popped in my mind, hey, Griswold, where are you going to put a tree that big?
Bend over and I'll show you.
You can't talk to me that way, Griswold.
I think that sounds incredibly ridiculous. What did you say over the past few years, the trend of eating your Christmas tree so not to waste it is getting more popular? Really?
You know who has read this book? My stupid cat, because the cat in our house eats the Christmas tree and then gets sick, and I have to go over there and clean up the cat puke, and there's like Christmas tree stuff in it.
Wait, so you do the live? You get the live trees?
No, artificial. Artificial.
Okay, that's even... I wonder if there's a way that you need to write a book, How to Eat the Plastic Christmas Trees. That's the sequel.
The plastic trees are bad for the environment. You should only eat the real Christmas trees, according to AOC. Is this anything? A Florida couple is celebrating after a plumber replacing their toilet found an engagement ring that they lost 20 years ago.
No way.
Shania Day originally lost her engagement ring down the toilet. I think it was at her parents' house, and she thought it was long gone. Here she is with her husband talking about finding the ring after decades and decades and decades of people pooping on top of it.
I had taken my ring off. It was sitting on the counter, so when I sopped up the water, guess I didn't pay attention very well, snagged my ring in the process, and tossed it in the toilet.
Plumber unhooked it from the ground and then just dumped it over in the tub to get the excess water out, so when he took it out, it didn't drip through the house. And when he did, the ring come out.
That just is absolutely amazing that it's just been sitting there.
To know that everyone cared enough about it and thought it was so cool that they didn't tell us it was an actual, genuine surprise. It brought tears to both our eyes.
Immediately after they found the engagement ring in the toilet, the marriage went down the crapper.
Hi-oh!
I mean, could you imagine the smell of that thing? It's going to get pooped on for 20 years?
Right. 20 Thanksgivings on top of that ring. 20 Cinco de Mayos on top of that ring.
Are you trying to rehab that thing after 20 years in the toilet, or are you just counting your losses and maybe dropping it off at a pawn shop or something?
Yeah, that's got pawn shop written all over it.
I mean, look, you're the guy in here in this room that's lost the wedding ring. You didn't lose your wife's, did you?
No.
You lost your own wedding ring, right?
Right.
It wasn't like an engagement ring or something like this.
Right. And for those who don't know the story, it makes it sound like I'm like being a scumbag running around.
No.
I took it off to wash the dog in the front yard, and I put it on my car, and I'm scrubbing the dogs, and they're dirty, and I'm spraying them off. I forgot to put my ring back on.
Oops.
Drove off, tried to find it, never could.
I guarantee it's still within a 100-foot radius of your house somewhere.
Well, if it's got 20 years of poop on it, I still don't want it.
Yeah, just keep it.
A new study shows that 2 out of 3 people would be fine with an engagement ring that doesn't have a diamond. So if you like someone, but you aren't quite sure that you want to spend the rest of your life with them, maybe, just maybe, this is for you.
When it comes to diamonds and engagement rings, 74% of Gen Z say a diamond isn't necessary. At Empty Promise Jewelers, we'll help you, sort of, commit to the person who might be the person of your dreams with the new Gen Z collection of copper, aluminum, and stainless steel jewelry. Nothing says, maybe this is forever, like a ring that turns your skin green. Give her a ring from the Gen Z collection at Empty Promise Jewelers for when you just want to keep her on hold.
I love it.
We offer a lot of services here at the Hammer and Nigel Show. Last one. Is this anything? A new study shows that in 2021, as weed became more legal around the country, over 3,000 young children accidentally ate marijuana products. Here's a doctor talking about the large increase in kids that have been discovered accidentally eating weed products.
This age group accounts for an increase of 1,375%. They can get into things and you can't really rationalize with them, hey, you shouldn't get into this. This might be dangerous to you. They think it looks like candy and they want to eat it.
You shouldn't have to rationalize with young kids. You should hide your weed so they can't get into it, dummy. Maybe put the edibles on a high shelf.
So the lesson you have here in this whole story, what you took from it was hide your weed.
Hide your weed so your kids don't eat it. I mean, is that such a hard concept to understand, parents? Put it on the top shelf behind the coffee or something like that.
Put it in the coffee can that's empty.
You shouldn't have to you shouldn't be leaving edibles out on the coffee table and then having to negotiate with your 3-year-old. Hey, look, you can't be touching this because this will get you really effed up. All right? They don't understand. Just hide it.
Just hide your weed. Everything will be fine. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here, sharing an amazing New Year offer with you from my friends at Hope Plumbing. For a limited time, Hope Plumbing will buy back your old water heater for $1,000 with the installation of a new tankless water heater. So if having endless hot showers and saving money on your gas bill is on your New Year's resolution list, call my friends at Hope Plumbing today and get your tankless water heater installed. Hope Plumbing is your neighborhood local honest plumbers. Visit them at hopeplumbing.com.
Get ready to celebrate the birthday of the King of Rock and Roll. And you're all invited as Omar presents the Elvis Tribute Artist Spectacular. Sunday, January 8th at the Egyptian Room at Old National Center, Indianapolis. Starring Sean Clush, Ryan Pelton, and introducing Moses Snow with special guest, the legendary Blackwood Quartet. Tickets are on sale now, so come celebrate Elvis's birthday. Visit etaspectacular.com today.
Guy Relford here. Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show this coming weekend at the State Fairgrounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Still no speaker. 43 degrees. Cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. You've got a clear radar and a low of 33 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:32. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy still does not have the 218 votes needed to become House Speaker after 5 rounds of voting. Texas Republican Tony Gonzalez says this isn't the way to begin the new year on Fox News.
It's not a good start to the 118th Congress. Yes, House Republicans fired Nancy Pelosi, but we have to lead. Now's the time for leadership, not politicians.
It's been over a century since the House had to go to multiple rounds of voting to select a House Speaker. Indiana Republican Congressman-elect Jim Banks says he is supporting Republican Kevin McCarthy.
He's by no means perfect, and I've had my differences with him here or there, but he is the guy who's best suited to take the job so we can hit the ground running at this point.
He tells WIBC's Tony Katz this process is delaying Congress from solving issues like the border crisis, cutting wasteful spending, and solving other problems. Lawmakers can't do any work until they elect a Speaker of the House. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin is still in critical condition, but is showing signs of improvement.
We're all praying for the best possible outcome here, and so any information that's trending in a positive direction is, no matter what the timing of that is what everybody hopes to hear and has prayed about.
Bengals head coach Zach Taylor speaking to the media today. Hamlin was hurt while playing against Cincinnati Monday night. That game was suspended, and the NFL hasn't said if it's going to be made up. IMPD is investigating a fatal shooting that happened northeast of downtown this afternoon off Ingram Street. That's in a neighborhood east of 16th Street and Roosevelt Avenue near I-70. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene. No suspects have been ID'd. More money will be going to manufacturing and improving education, but also something just as important next year.
I mentioned the need for more, credentials and certificates and degrees and diplomas. We also need to get healthier as a state. There's just no two ways about it.
Governor Eric Holcomb unveiling his 2023 plans today. Those include a focus on mental health for all Hoosiers, and Holcomb wants to specifically address the veteran mental health crisis. With your stock report today, the Dow up 133 to 33,269. The Nasdaq up 71 points to 10,458. And the S&P 500 up 28 to 3,852. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:34.
Hi, guys. It's Mark. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction? Did you know that a major medical breakthrough is now available and it isn't a pill? Today, Wednesday, January 4th, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pine Grove Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. It's backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge. If you're ready to regain the spark in your bedroom, today is your day. Call us now, and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce rapid and powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is an unprecedented offer worth hundreds of dollars, but call today and qualify totally free. Call 317-552-1111. That's 317-552-1111. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your life back. Call Pine Grove Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today, Wednesday. 317-552-1111.
The traffic at 4:35. Here's Matt Bear.
East side, Harrison, northbound 465. Stop and go traffic because of road construction. Stop and go from East 56th Street to Allisonville Road. Center lane blocked in that construction zone. Could go on until 6 p.m. tonight. We're watching it. Northbound 465, northwest side, slowing down 86th Street to 865. And then on the east side, southbound 465, a slow roll 70 down to I-74. Traffic sponsored by Unbound.org. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For tonight, clouds will decrease, becoming partly cloudy. Low temperatures in the low to mid 30s. Tomorrow, a light wintry mix possible for the morning commute, mainly north. High temperatures get into the mid to upper 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Yeah, Hammer, is it me, or did Kevin McCarthy not do a very good job of convincing the anti-establishment wing of the Republican Party that he'd be a good House Speaker?
Was it the 6 votes that give you that idea, Nige?
Maybe. Maybe. I'm telling you, though, if Hakeem Jeffries, the Democrat rep in the House, all he needs to do is look at, a certain number of his caucus, like 60 or so, say, hey, just sit this next vote out. It's going to lower the threshold. So all McCarthy would need is 180, 190. I don't know what the exact number would be. And then, hell breaks loose within the Republican Party because he's got the gig. Hakeem Jeffries helped him out, and it's civil war in the Republican Party the next 2 years. Now, I don't know if there's a rule about a motion to vacate if something like that would happen, if they could kick Kevin McCarthy out. I don't know if there's certain rules against that, but I'm just saying, man, you hand me that tinfoil hat, I'll wear it all day long.
The House has adjourned until 8 p.m. tonight. So far, 6 ballots in, 6 ballots down for Kevin McCarthy. He has not received the proper amount of votes in 6 ballots. They will reconvene again tonight at 8 p.m. So we've been kind of wondering, what does Joe Biden think about all of this? Number one, does Joe Biden even know what's happening?
That's the first thought that popped into my head. Does he even know where he's at?
But number two, what are his thoughts? Joe Biden did something that his predecessor did quite a bit of. It's called a chopper presser.
Oh, yeah.
Where Marine One, the official chopper, is blaring in the background, and the president is trying to talk to the press, but sometimes you can't hear. Here's a little example of what it sounded like when Donald Trump used to do it.
Again, what was the beginning? Say it louder. You have to speak up. Speak up. Talk up. You have to talk up. We have a helicopter. What'd you say? I don't hear you. What? Did I what? Did I what? Do I what? Say it again, louder. You're competing with a helicopter. Say it. 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 Say it again. 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 What? Say it again. What? Say it. What? 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 My hearing is great, but you have a helicopter that's raging back there.
I love that he has to point out to the press that there's a helicopter right behind him. Like he has to actually point that fact out as the reason why I can't hear.
So that's what that sound is.
So that's why you can't understand us.
So that's what a chopper presser
I miss those, man.
is. Joe Biden doesn't do many because he can't hear. But he did one about what's happening with the Speaker of the House race. Take a listen.
That's not my problem. I just think it's a little embarrassing it's taking so long in the way they're doing with one another. And the rest of the world's looking. They're looking at, can we get our act together?
No, again, he's not real loud. He says, one, it's not my problem. And number two, the world is looking. The world is looking on.
Well, it's like I've been saying now for the past hour and a half. I don't care what the world thinks. At least we're not just installing somebody and saying, yeah, this is who you got. This is who you're voting for. You'll vote for it and like it.
And I love now Joe Biden is concerned with what the world is seeing here in America. Now.
Right.
Like, were they looking when he fell off his bike? Were they looking when he kept falling repeatedly on the stairs of Air Force One?
Falling up the stairs, which is a feat in and of itself.
Was the world looking on with concern when Joe Biden was wondering where a dead congresswoman was?
I want to thank all of you here, including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie?
No.
I didn't think she was going to be here to help make this.
That was a few weeks after Jackie Walorski died of a car crash, to where Joe Biden even named a building after her in her honor. He was wondering where she was at, why she wasn't at the meeting. Also, Joe Biden, since you want to be cute about it, was the world looking on when you gave us this uplifting message?
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
You ain't black.
Well, the answer to that question is yes, the world was looking on. Because he got away with it. Or the mainstream corporate media types were looking on at the very least.
And was the world looking on when you gave your take on one of the greatest documents ever written?
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
So now Joe Biden's concerned with the world looking on. Got it. I wonder how many people are looking at the Twitter files, because they're still coming out. I know they've been kind of lost in some of the other headlines that have been taking place, but another round dropped yesterday. So if we're going to talk about big tech, censorship, and free speech, I think there's only one song that can set the mood.
You know, I was listening to Two Live Crew when I was a kid and hiding these cassette tapes from my parents so they wouldn't find it. I was singing along with Band in the USA. Never in my wildest dreams would I thought that we'd been using it as our theme song for a segment on the show.
When you're talking about big tech censorship, it sets the mood. And you remember Adam Schiff, right? Big Nige, collusion, hoaxer, California representative.
Yeah, he had proof of all the Russian collusion in his lockbox under his desk.
For those who might not be familiar with who Adam Schiff is, Donald Trump, can you please remind everyone?
Little pencil neck Adam Schiff. Got the smallest, thinnest neck I've ever seen.
Well, according to the Twitter files that came out from journalist Matt Taibbi last night, Adam Schiff wanted Twitter to ban journalists with different views than him and his Democratic colleagues. Published last night, the latest round of the Twitter files, these internal documents revealing how Twitter worked with politicians and government agencies to censor certain voices, revealed that Adam Schiff asked Twitter to remove journalist Paul Sperry and others from the site.
So you're telling me this isn't just the radical progressive Twitter employees working with each other within the doors of Twitter to censor conservative voices. This is outside federal government agencies, the DNC, working with Twitter to shut down any dissenting opinions and voices and views. Because those are two different things.
Right.
Twitter wants to shut down and suppress okay, yeah, I guess it's their private company and do whatever they want. But when you have guys like Adam Schiff, guys like the FBI, the DNC working with social media platforms to suppress and censor, that's an entirely different thing. That's a violation of the First Amendment, brah.
And the thing is, the reason all of these folks were reaching out to Twitter, they thought they could get away with it. Because for a long time, they did. Yoel Roth, that little weasel that was working in terms with safety and censorship at Twitter, was basically so far left, he was having meetings and joking about having meetings with government officials all the time. Now, I think this is kind of a surprise to me. They told Adam Schiff, no, this isn't feasible. We're not going to do this.
They were already doing it anyway.
Right. Guys like Alex Berenson had already been kicked off. Donald Trump had already been kicked off. Like, the heavy lifting was done. So guys like Adam Schiff felt, you know what? I'm just going to keep asking. Worst they can do is say no, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get our way. That was what was happening at Twitter. And these Twitter files, I know it's kind of being lost in the news cycle right now, but take the time and read these to really understand about how dirty big tech and censorship has been in this country.
Especially working in concert with federal agencies.
Right, 100%. Have you bought a lottery ticket for the Mega Millions?
No, I haven't bought a lottery ticket. I got some scratch-offs, though, in my stocking from Santa.
Did you win?
No, I haven't scratched them off yet. Might do that when I get home. But I know
you got to get those things going, man.
I did not. I've not bought a Mega Millions jackpot. Is it tonight?
$940 million on the line. I believe the next drawing is going to be Friday, I think.
A Friday. Okay.
The new jackpot will be the 6th largest in U.S. history. Now, you were wearing the tinfoil hat earlier.
Yes.
Can I borrow it for just a minute?
Sure, there you go.
Can I put the tinfoil hat on? It feels like every year at this time, the lottery drums up all types of publicity for these mega jackpots. Like, it feels like if you just go back and look at the jackpots at the beginning of the last 5, 6, 7 years, it's always been like record territory. And I don't know if that's done to hype up, sales for the lottery to kickstart a year.
Probably.
Or maybe it's one hell of a coincidence, but I don't think that it is. There's something going on. And am I a sucker if I buy a lottery ticket? Probably. Am I going to buy one? You bet your sweet ass I'm going to. And let the record clearly state, there will be no new year, new me bullcrap going on with me. If I win this jackpot, I promise you, I will be the same rotten bastard in 2023 that I was in 2022. That's the Jason Hammer guarantee.
You mean there's more where that came from?
Oh, man.
There's higher levels?
You give me $940 million to play with. It's like in a movie where there's the lab accident and the super villain is created.
Sure.
Put your big boy pants on. So if we're going to talk about the lottery, I think it's only appropriate we have great moments and local TV reporters asking people about the lottery history.
Hammer and Nigel present Great Moments and local TV reporters asking people about the lottery history.
Well, if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, you have until 9 tonight to get it, but the drawing is not until 10. I'm here with someone else who has gotten their ticket. Now, James, you bought your ticket. What are you going to do with that money if you win?
Well, I'm definitely going to get a new supercharged Mustang with dual exhaust and about 5 kilos of cocaine. And I'll be good to go.
Okay, so you like cars. You like cars.
Great moments and local TV reporters asking people about the lottery history.
I would have had more respect for her if she said, oh, okay, so you like cocaine then, right? Oh, okay.
Well, good luck, sir. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Did you know the air you breathe in comes directly from your crawl space? Do you even know what's in your crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swainco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, Indy's most trusted, award-winning experts. A dry, healthy crawl space protects the health of your family and your greatest asset, your home. Transform your problem crawl space into a dry, healthy, energy-saving crawl space today and call the real, local, family-owned crawl space experts. Swainco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
What if you didn't have to continue working to live a lifestyle you're happy with? What if you could spend the rest of your life doing what you want to do when you want to do it, not worrying about others claiming your time and energy? Aspiring retirees want to know how to achieve the work optional lifestyle. A much better question is, who can help you achieve this lifestyle? Working because you want to, not because you have to, is financial freedom. This is Brian Singer. My friend and colleague Casey Weed, the founder of Howard Bailey Financial, wrote a best-selling book titled Job Optional. I'm excited to be part of a team that has developed and refined a proprietary process designed to help people who are still working create a job-optional lifestyle. The Howard Bailey Retire with Purpose framework looks at 5 key areas of your financial life and then informs your choices to design a lifestyle as unique as you are. Retire with Purpose puts all the pieces of the puzzle together in a process designed to bring predictability and purpose to your financial life. We're not all things to all people. We are all things to some people. This means we primarily work with people who understand you don't need to know how, you just need to know who. Who knows how to fit all the pieces of the puzzle together to support your one-of-a-kind lifestyle? Who can do that for you and do it so well that that advisor team is the last team you will ever need or want? We work with people who expect their relationship with us to be transformational rather than transactional. Call us at 317-852-9153 to schedule a retirement readiness review and see how the Retire with Purpose process might transform your life. 317-852-9153.
Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities, LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved. Job Optional was a #1 Amazon bestseller in retirement planning on 7/2/19 and a Wall Street Journal ebook bestseller on 8/9/19.
The new year is here. Time for a change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand IT field with My Computer Career in just months. Already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick Weight Loss Hypnosis Seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great.
Seminars January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss 5:30, stop smoking 8 p.m. Or January 21st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m., stop smoking 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
East side, northbound 465 stop and go before East 56 to Allisonville Road. It's construction blocking the center lane, maybe up until 6 p.m. tonight. East side, southbound 465 stop and go from 72 south at Shadeland, and the northwest side, northbound 465 slow. 86 to 865. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
43 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Probably the right thing for the NFL to do is to cancel or at least postpone that game of the Bills and the Bengals when Damar Hamlin got injured on Monday Night Football. Not only injured, but it looked like a routine play, Hammer. He tackled the wide receiver, got back up, but then just collapsed, went into cardiac arrest. Heart stopped beating. They had to resuscitate him. There was a defibrillator involved. Probably the right call for the league to cancel that game.
Yeah.
In retrospect.
And we'll talk about this with Casey Daniels when she joins us later on, because we were talking in the hallway. It reminded me of when Dan Weldon had his crash out in Las Vegas. Now, Dan didn't survive. He died in that crash. But the IndyCar had to make a decision. Are we going to cancel the rest of this race, or are we going to make these folks get out and race? And the right decision was made to cancel that race. So the update is it sounds like he's making a little bit of progress. Hamlin remains sedated on a ventilator at the UC Medical Center. Doctors, and again, this is from his uncle, doctors have turned him over on his stomach to help take the pressure off of his lungs. And the next step is to get him breathing more on his own.
Why hasn't there been like a press conference with the doctors? Why are we getting secondhand info from the uncle? Seems bizarre to me. Just a question I had. That's all.
So I was out yesterday, did you discuss the tweet that Skip Bayless, the sports commentator, put out?
Is that where he was questioning whether or not they should have postponed the game?
Right.
Yeah.
I've got it in front of me. Quote, this is from Skip Bayless. Quote, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Skip Bayless was trying to spin it as, of course, we're concerned about the health, but how is the league going to postpone this? He got beat up over this, and I think rightfully so. It just came off as crass, like he didn't care about the player. So he does this program called First Take, I think, or something like that.
Well, First Take was on ESPN, wasn't it?
Yeah. I can't. It's a spinoff. It's a ripoff of that
Fox.
show.
It's on Fox.
And he
Sports.
does it with Shannon Sharp.
Undisputed or something.
Undisputed. Thank you. He does this program with former NFL player Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp did not show up to the show yesterday. And a lot of people were like, is he ticked off at Skip Bayless or something else? He came back today. Take a listen.
Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me. You could have came back. Skip,
Well, I thought-
Skip, just let me.
I didn't know you were going to bring up
No,
this.
I was just going to say, Skip, I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where DeMar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations, so clearly somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Thoughts and prayers remain with DeMar.
And then she just transitions on and moves on with the show. Kind of awkward. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Is your home really ready for the holiday season? As you're putting up your Christmas decorations this year, pay attention to your home siding. There are lots of new vibrant siding colors out there, and new siding can give your home a much-needed facelift. Moss Roofing offers James Hardy siding that comes with a 15-year warranty. It's low maintenance, and it will give your home the durability it deserves this winter and many winters to come. Not only will you get great curb appeal from James Hardy siding, you won't have to think about the siding on your home for a long, long time. And that's a pretty great gift for the holiday season. Moss Roofing is a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of serving Central Indiana. Moss Roofing experts offer residential and commercial roofing repairs and replacements, gutters, and insulation services. Call Moss Roofing today, 317-527-4393, 317-527-4393, or visit mossroofing.com. That's M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, mossroofing.com.
Hubler has certified service and maintenance for the life of your vehicle. Get everyday value pricing on service and parts and schedule an appointment with ease at drivehubler.com.
We say Merry Christmas at R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. We recently saved one of Indy's oldest small businesses over $5,000 per month on their group coverage for 10 employees. We are saving early retiring clients 50% when compared to their COBRA coverage. Now they can afford to retire. You've been told the ACA, you know it's still Obamacare, is your only option on individual coverage. If you're sick and you don't have any income, that's true. If you are reasonably healthy and have a livable household income, the ACA is your worst option. You've also been told if enrolled, you must keep your coverage for a year. That is also not true. Don't let the federal government or the big insurance company cronies tell you that you don't have a choice. Call us at 317-435-1718. or go to rragency.org. That's 317-435-1718 or rragency.org. We can help. Give us a call. What do you got to lose? As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
Fellas, need an annual health exam for work or just want to start the year prioritizing your health? We recommend Low T Center to get your complete health assessment. They check all your levels, not just your testosterone. It's typically completely covered by most health insurance, and it's less than $100 for full labs and an office visit. Low T Center specializes in men's health, making it quick and easy. Go to lowtcenter.com right now to book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center. Reinventing men's healthcare.
Get ready to celebrate the birthday of the King of Rock and Roll. And you're all invited as Omar presents the Elvis Tribute Artist Spectacular. Sunday, January 8th at the Egyptian Room at Old National Center, Indianapolis. Starring Sean Clutch, Ryan Pelton, and introducing Moses Snow with special guest, the legendary Blackwood Quartet. Tickets are on sale now, so come celebrate Elvis's birthday. Visit etaspectacular.com today.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Parker Carlson reports on Governor Eric Holcomb's plan for 2023. Indy Metro Police are investigating a fatal shooting that happened on the northeast side this afternoon. And John Herrick reports why you've been noticing gas prices going up. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
The House takes a breather. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. They've just adjourned until 8 p.m. Eastern after 3 more votes with the same results.
No member-elect having received a majority of the votes cast, a speaker has not been elected.
Republican leader Kevin McCarthy falling short a total of 6 times since yesterday in his bid to become House Speaker.
Members are beginning to get tired. They're beginning to get cranky with this process. They're upset about the continued voting and tensions. They are rising. These repeated votes may backfire on McCarthy. The votes over and over show that McCarthy lacks the votes to win so far.
Fox's Chad Pergram at the Capitol. 20 conservatives are standing firm in their opposition to McCarthy, while some other Republicans accuse them of playing politics and holding up an agenda that won back the House. The president heads to Mexico City soon and might make a side trip.
Next week, President Biden will participate in the North American Leaders Summit in Mexico. He hinted it may be the chance to visit the southern border. Preparing to depart after an event in Kentucky, he was a bit more definitive after a reporter's question about visiting the border.
That's my intention. We're working out the details now.
President Biden has gotten criticism from conservatives for not having gone there in person while in office.
Fox's Gernal Scott, Republicans and some Democratic officials in border states accuse the president of failing to secure the border. The administration defends its policies while urging bipartisan work on immigration reform. Arraignment day for 19-year-old Trevor Bickford of Maine, accused of trying to kill police on New Year's Eve in New York City.
Bickford appearing before a judge virtually from a hospital bed. Officers shooting him in the shoulder after the teen allegedly shouted Allahu Akbar and charged at police near Times Square.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. Prosecutors say Bickford intended to attack government officials across the U.S. He's held without bail, facing multiple charges. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What he wants to do this year, 43 degrees and cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. All clear on the radar. The low drops to 33 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Money for education, expanding public health services, and boosting manufacturing jobs are the plan Governor Eric Holcomb listed for his 2023 Next Level agenda. Parker Carlson has more.
Governor Holcomb not only wants to continue the growth Indiana saw in 2022, but to focus on social services that Indiana has been lacking. That means eliminating textbook fees for public and charter schools, putting a plug in Indiana's college graduate brain drain, and
I mentioned the need for more, credentials and certificates and degrees and diplomas. We also need to get healthier as a state. There's just no two ways about it.
Holcomb in his press conference Wednesday, specifically mentioning boosting mental health initiatives to combat suicide rates in veterans. Parker Carlson, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
One person was shot and killed along Ingram Street in Indianapolis this afternoon. Indy Metro Police say they do not have a suspect.
Right now, that's part of what we're canvassing for. We are looking for witnesses or video footage.
Officer Elizabeth Flatter says if you know anything about the shooting, give police a call. Salesforce is laying off 10% of its workers and reducing office space in certain markets. The San Francisco-based tech company announced a restructuring plan Wednesday. Its co-chief executive wrote in a letter to employees, the cuts are a result of customers spending with more caution. And the company now has a surplus of workers that were hired during a revenue surge that happened during during the pandemic. If you're wondering what you may spend on gas prices this year, there are some things you should watch out for.
One of those things is the actions of Russia. I'm John Herrick.
Russia did make a threat that it's going to cut off any countries from oil starting February 1st that engage in a price cap. So that's something to watch.
That oil output cut could range from anywhere between 5 and 7%. Also, China has been reopening from its COVID restrictions recently, which will increase demand and therefore make prices go up. DeHaan said Wednesday morning that many stations in Indiana will see an increase back to $3.29 a gallon at some point this week. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, above your eyes, below your eyes, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You've visited urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing. I know. Let's try antibiotics and nasal sprays. But the sinus infections keep coming back. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your sinus infections anymore. Set an appointment today with Indianapolis Sinus Center and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
The traffic on the 5s at 5:05. Here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, looking at the east side, northbound 465, stop and go after Penn Pike to Allisonville Road. That's road construction delay. Center lane is blocked. Should be done by 6 p.m. tonight. Northwest side, northbound 465 slows 86th Street up to 865 and inbound 65, stop and go 21st Street to the north split. Traffic sponsored by Inbound.org. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Abound.org. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For tonight, clouds will decrease, becoming partly cloudy. Low temperatures in the low to mid 30s. Tomorrow, a light wintry mix possible for the morning commute, mainly north. High temperatures get into the mid to upper 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
Yeah, I was saying earlier, Hammer, I don't think Kevin McCarthy did a great job of convincing the anti-establishment wing of the Republican Party that he'd be good as House Speaker. And House Speaker's not a glamorous gig. It is not an easy gig. And maybe it should raise some red flags that he wants it so badly to begin with.
You can make money from that gig, though. I mean, look at Nancy Pelosi. Like, when she's not doing insider trading, you can go around the country and do your speaking gig as Speaker of the House. You can write books as Speaker of the House. You can become a paid contributor to some news network as former Speaker of the House. The title carries a little weight, though. You can make a lot of money on it. And you're right, Kevin McCarthy wants this bad. Like, he's squatting in the position. Some people squat in homes that are abandoned. Kevin McCarthy is squatting in the Speaker of the House's office right now.
What are we up to now? They take a break? Are we up to 7 times now?
Seven will begin after 8 p.m. tonight.
Wow.
The House has taken a break. They will reconvene at 8 p.m. tonight.
Didn't you read a headline that said, some of the members in Congress are now irritated and tired and grouchy?
They're getting cranky.
Welcome to America, welcome to the world of the working.
Right. Somebody that works a construction job doesn't want to hear about how tired our elected officials are because they have to just sit around and actually work an 8-hour day and put in some hours in time. And it's not like they're lifting up big pieces of like sheetrock or anything like that. You put on a suit or a dress, you go in there, you say, Kevin McCarthy or somebody else, and you sit back down for another hour. That's it. We're tired. We're cranky. So the House is going through this very slow, very deliberative process. I would not call this dysfunction. Democrats are doing the victory lap here. Look how dysfunctional the Republicans are. I said it earlier. This is the way the system was designed. If you think about it, it's actually how the government was set up to function in order to blunt the growth of an overbearing nature of the federal government. This is supposed to be the process. It's just normally these things are already decided at dinner meetings, back alley discussions, donor events, and things of that nature. This is Texas Representative Chip Roy.
This is not personal. It's not. This is about the future of the country. This is about the direction of the country. American people who are looking at this body and wondering why we can pass $1.7 trillion bills that are unpaid for. They can just slide in $45 billion for Ukraine but not pay for it. $40 billion for emergency spending and not pay for it. 10% increase in defense spending, 6% increase in non-defense spending and not pay for it. And not do a thing except put language in a bill that prohibits our ability to use the money to secure the border.
So the angle that you're hearing from people like Chip Roy and Matt Gaetz is that we don't want more of the same. The leadership of the Republicans has been a little underwhelming over the last couple of years. And anybody that thought these spending packages was a good thing, we want to go in a different direction. Here's Matt Gaetz.
Those of us who will not be voting for Kevin McCarthy today take no joy in this discomfort that this moment has brought. But if you want to drain the swamp, you cannot put the biggest alligator in charge of the exercise.
And what was I saying in the beginning of the segment? Kevin McCarthy trying to reach out to the anti-establishment wing of the Republican Party didn't do so good of a job, it doesn't sound like.
Now, he does have a little support. You've got folks like Nancy Mace, the South Carolina representative. She's ripping Matt Gaetz on Twitter. Quote, Matt Gaetz is a fraud. 1 minute, he says he opposes McCarthy because he's conservative. And the next minute, he says he doesn't care if Hakeem Jeffries is the speaker. You can't have it both ways. Here's another tweet from Nancy Mace. Quote, I know people think I'm the weed lady, but serious question, Representative Gaetz. What are you on? She is for illegal marijuana.
No, she's the weed lady. I'd like to be known as that. That's a brand right there. Run with it.
And if I were her, I would sell merch that says, in your face, Nancy Mace. She's got to have that merch, right?
I love it.
Kind of a bummer headline that I saw today. Salesforce is cutting about 10% of its workforce. They have about 2,300 employees here in Indianapolis.
Oh, wow.
So we don't know exactly how many, if any, but we assume some jobs will be lost here in Indianapolis. The San Francisco computing software company going to be closing offices throughout the country and limiting positions throughout the country. You never want to hear that. I will say this, though. I hate hearing stories of people lose their jobs. It sucks because I've been there. I've lost a job before. But the leadership of Salesforce has always kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Woke force,
100%. And there's a lot of businesses here on the circle, restaurants, diners, bistros, things like that, that never made it past the pandemic because people like the leaders of Salesforce decided we just want our workers to work from home. Even though everybody was going back to work at that point, and it was totally safe, and you knew a lot more about COVID than you did before, when all of these businesses downtown, key one being Salesforce, decided we're not bringing people back to downtown, that hurt.
It did, although I think they were in some competition at that point for people that said, wait, you want me to go back to work? I'll just find a similar job that pays similar cash, maybe even less cash, and I'll stay home.
Yeah, that's part of it, too.
So maybe acquiring and retaining talent was part of it. But yeah, man, a lot of downtown restaurants never recovered from giants like Salesforce and their policy of, just stay home.
Because when people would go to lunch, downtown used to be packed. We, get here to the office at about 10:30 every day, Nige,
Sure.
and sometimes we would go to lunch about noon, 12:30, just walk around, see the vibe of the circle. You'd see people having picnics and lunches and meetings all the time. That doesn't happen so much anymore. The only thing you see now when you walk the circle is an array of bums that are begging for you to give them a handout or
just a hand. As that one guy outside our building does every day. Gives himself a hand.
Yeah, he's a one-man ovation.
One-man ovation.
There was a shooting last night at the Castleton Square Mall. Still waiting to find out the full story of this because it feels like there's a lot more to the story. Some sort of argument broke out in the parking lot near the Castleton Square Mall. 2 people were shot, one of them fatally. The fatal shooting was a juvenile. The other person that was shot was over the age of 18. The police have somebody in custody, a person of interest, and they claim that person of interest is being completely cooperative. So it feels like there may be more to this story than just Wild West style shootout. Not going to judge anything because we say all the time, just wait for the information to come out. See what happens. We don't know what started this fight, how this thing played out, but the thing that rubs me the wrong way is already on Twitter. You see these morons. Well, ever since Indiana passed that law where you don't have to have a license, this kind of thing happens all the time.
Really?
Where were these people before last year? And just for argument's sake, let's say that you're somebody that feels this way. In your mind, there's somebody going, man, I'm so happy that law changed. Now I can really murder somebody because I'm a law-abiding bad guy. And even though I'm about to commit murder, I'm waiting for the law to change.
And not only that, but that argument is flawed anyway because according to Joe Hogsett, violent crime and homicides down 15%.
Oh, it's completely safe now. We didn't set a record last year. We were top 3, but we didn't set a record. So go outside, walk around with $100 bills, have your big gold chain on. You should feel perfectly fine.
I would recommend against that.
Perfectly fine. Do it after 11 o'clock. Everything's going to be all right. If you need a reason to drink tonight or maybe eat, how about this? It's National Spaghetti Day. Are you a spaghetti guy?
Spaghetti and meatballs, Spaghetti Factory.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Been going there since I was a kid. That's an institution downtown.
So the $1 million question, where can one get the best spaghetti in Indianapolis?
As the snow flies.
What's this?
On a cold and gray Chicago morning, a hungry young man has a craving for some SpaghettiOs.
SpaghettiOs. Now this is my wheelhouse.
And his stomach growls.
I just wondered what this was going.
'Cause if there's one thing this world don't need, it's a hungry young man denied a chance to eat some SpaghettiOs.
Is this Elvis? Can we... Iria's probably. Iria's downtown, a classic institution, Italian restaurant. And look, if you're looking for chains, you and I both know, can't go wrong with the Ollie. That's the nickname for Olive Garden in our household. Going to get some Ollie tonight.
Napoli Villa in Beach Grove.
Oh
man. So good. So on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, best spaghetti or SpaghettiOs.
SpaghettiO.
In Indianapolis. At Hammer and Nigel, Matt Bear.
All right, east side northbound 465 stop and go Penn Pike up to Allisonville Road. That's road construction. Blocking the center lane. Hopefully it'll be done in 45 minutes. We're looking at 6 o'clock. We'll see what happens. Northwest side northbound 465 stop and go 86th Street up to 865. East side traffic southbound 465 stop and go 70 down to Arlington Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Fresh Time Market. Get a real healthy start to the new year at Fresh Time Market's biggest sale of the year. Save 33% on all vitamins and body care now through January 10th. Fresh Time Market, get real. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I don't know what I want more right now, spaghetti or SpaghettiOs. And yes, the SpaghettiOs have to have the meatballs. I'm not some kind of monster. 43 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Imagine if you could get a 35% bonus when you invest your money. That's right. If you invest $100,000, you get a $35,000 bonus. If you invest $200,000, you get a $70,000 bonus. And if it sounds too good to be true, it's not. And guess what? You'll sleep well at night knowing your money is protected by one of the highest rated insurance companies in the world. It's Terry Stacy, and to learn more about this 35% bonus, call Bill Demery, my retirement guy, at 317-972-9172. A little diversification outside of the stock market could be a really good thing right about now. But this 35% bonus won't last forever. So call 317-972-9172. 317-972-9172.
One of the things I love about betting on the NFL is I'm always finding those new player or game props that I like. I love the same game parlays. And what's cool with FanDuel is you can combine all those props I was talking about with other bets from the same game to score an even bigger payout. You can build out your own same game parlay however you want. Quarterback over passing yards, running back anytime touchdowns, over total points scored. There's thousands of different combos to score an even bigger payout with the same game parlay. It's just one of the many reasons I love FanDuel. It's so easy to use. I love the live betting function. It's easy to place your bet fast during a game if you see a trend you like, and lightning fast withdrawals. When you win, FanDuel pays your winnings fast. And if you're new to FanDuel Sportsbook, sign up today with promo code WIBC for your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's promo code WIBC. You can make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Indiana. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Norman, before we start the surgery, I have some bad news.
What is it, doctor?
Well, I never graduated from med school. But the good news is, it's the Xfinity Hello 2023 sale. Now hurry, because new Xfinity customers can get 75 megabit internet for just $20 a month for 1 year with no annual contract. And this will get your heart rate up. When you add Xfinity Mobile, you get the best price for 2 lines of unlimited.
I gotta get this deal.
Plus, for a limited time, get $500 back with 2 new mobile lines.
That's amazing, Doc.
I know. I don't want to miss this deal. Let's reschedule.
Doc? Doc?
Drop everything and get to the Xfinity Hello 2023 sale now through January 10th. Go to Xfinity.com/Hello2023. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Internet offer requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After term, regular rates apply. Xfinity Internet required for Xfinity Mobile. Compares Xfinity Unlimited Intro to lowest price 5G plans of top 3 carriers. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of usage per line. Data thresholds may vary.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
The new year is here. Time for a change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand IT field with My Computer Career. In just months. Already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. And financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Happy New Year, everybody. My name is Nigel. Hammer is back in action. A poll leading up to New Year's found that 37% of us were planning to make a resolution this year. Another 17% said they might. Top 10 resolutions we're making for 2023. According to the poll, here we go, Hammer, in at number 1. Save money.
Not on my list.
Not on your list.
I got a kid going to college this year. Not on my list.
Number 2, be healthier in general. I think that you can put that on my list a little bit.
Absolutely.
Lower your portions. Maybe cut down on the alcohol during the week.
Well, you lost me.
I already lost you
At
there.
both of those, lowering the portions and the alcohol.
Number 3, work out more.
I could do that, yes. I was working out like twice a
Yeah,
day
you were.
when I lost my 50 pounds. Man, I've gained some back over the holidays. I got to get back on
Any
it.
estimation how much? Do you even want to say on the air?
Probably.
You lost 50. How much do you think you got back?
Probably 15.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's okay. I thought you were going to say 20 at least.
But that's 15 since like the beginning of November. Like, that's a short time period that, man, I was just eating holiday cookies and Thanksgiving meals and Christmas meals and doing all the fatty McButterpants things.
Yeah. A couple more on the list was work out more. Number 4 is eat better. 5, lose weight. Those are kind of all go together. Number 6, try to be happier in general.
Oh, kiss my ass.
Number 7, pay down debt.
Okay.
Number 8, improve your mental health. Number 9, spend more time with the fam. Number 10, learn something new. Now, this poll also found that almost no one who makes a resolution expects to fail at it. 87% said they'd probably follow through, which is surprising. I usually make a resolution with the intent on failing.
Right. Now, what if you make your resolution like really vague, right? I'm going to live forever. Well, so far, so good. I have kept my resolution.
Look, after a month, the number. So of those who make the resolution, a week after a week, only 75% are still successful. After a month, the number drops to 64%. After 6 months, it's at 46% of people who make a resolution are still keeping it successful. So look, we here at the Hammer and Nigel Show, we've done the heavy lifting for you. We've made it super simple for you to absolutely rock your resolutions this year.
And now resolutions made easy. Your old New Year's resolution was going to the gym. Your new New Year's resolution is saying hi to your coworker, Jim. Old resolution, do less drinking. New resolution, do less. Also, drinking. Old resolution, quit all of your bad habits. New resolution, remember that nobody likes a quitter. Ta-da! Now go eat your fast food, gain weight, sit on the couch, play video games, and enjoy your pathetic existence in 2023.
Oh, wow.
Well, you put it that way. Sure.
A cynical look at making New Year's resolutions.
Have you seen the viral video of the Waffle House fight where the worker, this chick in the back.
Waffle House Wendy?
Yeah. Somebody throws a chair at her and she like blocks that thing.
Yeah, like she's Darth Vader or something.
Right. It was amazing.
Oh, was she on Tucker?
She was.
I think I was watching that last night, I think.
Her name is Hallie Booth. And again, the internet has dubbed her Waffle House Wendy. She was the one that had the quick reflexes, wasn't scared of a chair being thrown at her.
That was an ugly brawl.
Which tells me she has seen that type of thing before in a Waffle House. Here she is last night speaking to Tucker.
Yeah.
How did Waffle House, I mean, I'm watching this and I'm thinking, I don't think I've seen an employee calmer under pressure than you. I assume you got some sort of award and special bonus from Waffle House corporate. How big was your bonus?
I actually didn't get any bonus of it. The only thing that I did get from the fight was a write-up for breaking the sugar shaker. Telling me, hey, we're going to write you up for the sugar shaker, but you did a good job, protecting the store and making sure that you were all right.
Wait, you were written up for breaking a sugar shaker when someone threw a chair at you?
Yes, sir.
Did you
destruction
point
of
out
business property, yeah.
So you were not rewarded or awarded for your bravery under pressure?
No, sir.
Wow, boycott Waffle House.
I mean, how do you write her up for anything? There's a brawl breaking out. Somebody throws a chair, not randomly at a certain area, at her. They threw a chair at her. She blocks it, and because a sugar shaker gets broken, she gets written up for it.
Who is the scumbag that did that? Who noticed that? Who goes through the aftermath is checking off the list? Oh, the sugar shaker broke. Must have been the employee that was trying to defend our property. You'll get a write-up. You're right. She did. Anybody that did what she did deserves to be compensated and awarded.
Right. At least not written up, for Christ's sake. Here's a little bit more.
Do you still work at Waffle House?
No. 2 months after the fight, me and my relationship was getting a little bit more serious, so I moved out of city. And they had told me that I'm always welcome back at that store, and, we're glad to have you back. You always have a place here. And about 6 months later, when I went to apply at another Waffle House in North Carolina, I had found out that I was blacklisted and on the do not hire list.
They blacklisted her. One, I didn't know Waffle House has a list. Like, how out of control do you have to be not be allowed to be hired by a Waffle House?
No kidding. If I was Waffle House, I'd be on my hands and knees begging for people to come work.
Which brings us to great moments in Waffle House history.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Larry the Cable Guy.
But I do like food. I'll tell you what, I enjoy it. The Waffle House, that's one of my favorite places right there. I like the Waffle House. Smothered and covered, by God. You're a communist if you don't eat it smothered and covered. But don't eat it too late, because you'll eat it smothered and covered, and it'll come out scattered and splattered. I guarantee.
Great moments in Waffle House history. Hammer and Nigel, our company, decided to make romance a thing with this special reservation hotline.
This Valentine's Day, make it a romantic date she'll never forget. You don't need roses or chocolates or jewelry. This year, show her how much you love her by making reservations at Waffle House.
What the hell?
Yes, it's an evening she will never forget.
What are you thinking?
Warning, you should probably not make reservations at Waffle House unless you're intending to break up. Reservations for Valentine's only at participating Waffle House locations. Waffle House.
Great moments in Waffle House history. Casey Daniels up next. Right now, we got the news with Harrison Silcox.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They still haven't made a decision. Cloudy and 42 degrees on Monument Circle. Your radar's clear. The low falls to 33 tonight with those clouds sticking around. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. There's still no Speaker of the House.
2 days, 6 rounds of votes, and still no Speaker, with the House deadlocked. A coalition of conservatives are blocking Republican leader Kevin McCarthy from ascending to the speakership.
Sir, you do not have the votes, and it's time to withdraw.
Colorado's Lauren Boebert and 19 other Republicans cast all 3 ballots today for Florida Republican Byron Donalds.
Our voters are tired of the same old thing where it's like, oh, well, how'd that person get into leadership? And that's not an anti-Kevin statement. That's an indictment of Washington.
McCarthy's allies accuse a minority of Republicans of holding the rest of the House hostage. On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
President Joe Biden says the search for a new speaker isn't a great look for America.
To be able to have a Congress that can't function is just embarrassing. We're the greatest nation in the world. How can that be?
Biden said he's worried Congress may not be able to function. There was a fatal shooting in the northeast side of Indy this afternoon.
Once they arrived, they located an individual in a vehicle who had injuries consistent with a gunshot wound. Unfortunately, that individual has been pronounced deceased by medical personnel.
IMPD officer Elizabeth Flatter. The shooting happened off Ingram Street in a neighborhood east of 16th Street and Roosevelt Avenue near I-70. If you know anything, call police. Governor Eric Holcomb has announced his 2023 Next Level agenda, and included is some major changes to education and health care in Indiana.
We'll also be looking to something that I've wanted to get at for some time now, and that is eliminating the textbook fees for Hoosier families.
Governor Holcomb says all traditional public and charter schools will cut textbook fees to help Indiana families. With traffic at 5:32, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, east side, northbound 465, stop and go Penn Pike to Allisonville Road. That is a work zone between 69 and Allisonville Road. Center lane blocked, maybe lifted around 6 o'clock tonight. East side, southbound 465, stop and go 70 down to Arlington Avenue. Northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go after 79th up to 865. And inbound 65, stop and go traffic from 21st Street to the North Split. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For tonight, clouds will decrease, becoming partly cloudy. Low temperatures in the low to mid 30s. Tomorrow, a light wintry mix possible for the morning commute, mainly north. High temperatures get into the mid to upper 30s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Casey Daniels from the Kendall and Casey Show joining us for the side piece as she does every Wednesday on the show. Casey, how are you?
I'm good. How about you guys?
Doing excellent.
The dynamic duo is back together again.
Man, oh man. Hammer, did you make it to midnight?
Oh, yeah.
Did you make it to midnight?
Dude,
Yeah,
I
that's
had
a dumb
fireworks
question.
to shoot off.
Oh,
I
that's
had
right.
explosives, bombs to burst in the air, baby.
Casey, you make it to midnight?
You're talking about New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve?
Or last night?
Either one.
Yes, I made it to midnight.
Wow.
I was doing a Big Ten house party. I was up at Purdue.
Oh,
Look at you. Partying with the college kids.
Yeah.
Stifler's mom out there getting work done. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh. I wish I could say it was really exciting, but it was really just me and the kid hanging out. So watching a really, really bad Chicago local version of the countdown. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
It couldn't be worse than CNN's. Don Lemon forgot to do the countdown.
That's true. That's true. The one out of Chicago, they actually did do the countdown.
Like a local one?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was the local version.
See,
and-
my thing is with the CNN countdowns, they wouldn't let them get drunk this year. Like
Right.
the president's like, yeah, no more of that. You know, and that kind of takes the fun away. That's the only reason why I'd ever watch CNN is to see those jackasses do like one or two shots. They can't hold their alcohol, and the next thing you know, you have Anderson Cooper going after he does a shot of tequila.
Well, he did cut through the Newsmax live shot.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
But
Jerks.
honestly, the only ball I was really watching drop was the field goal that went.
Oh, the Ohio State
Yeah.
kicker. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It was like, do we do the countdown? Do we watch the game? So, yeah, one was pulled up on the phone, one was on the TV.
And now there's a lot of people complaining that those football games start too late. Because I promise you, everybody in the state of Georgia and Ohio missed the new year coming in because they were watching the field goal.
Yeah,
I mean, those are
absolutely.
football states.
Yes, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to.
Oh, you were rooting for the Buckeyes.
I was. Yeah. Not into those Bulldogs, but whatever. At least they're not Michigan, who's lost the past 6 bowl games they've been in. What do you think about the rumors of Jim Harbaugh going to the NFL?
I think these were around last year.
They've been around for a long
Every
time.
year.
Yeah.
And if I'm Jim Harbaugh, you keep having these conversations.
Absolutely.
Because worst case scenario, you can go back to Michigan and go, hey, I got this offer on the table over here. Maybe you grease the palms a little bit. I'll stick around. That's great negotiating. That's how you get it done.
Yeah, exactly. And suddenly he just keeps getting more and more money out of University of Michigan, right?
On the subject of football, I was in Nashville. I was actually at a wrestling event. I was at the WWE Raw with my kids
Nice.
when the football player, Damar Hamlin, went down on the field. And my phone started blowing up. I'm at this, stadium in Nashville, Bridgestone Arena, and I'm getting text after text. And, I start talking to Nigel and Rob. What's going on with this Bills player?
Yeah.
Did you watch it, Casey?
Yeah, watched it live like a lot of people, and it was shocking. And I thought, the emotion was just so raw, and you could tell immediately from the players that were surrounding him that something bad was going on. I mean, you just knew.
And how do you think the announcers did? Because I've heard a lot of praise for the announcers on that broadcast.
They did great.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job. I mean, that's a tough position to be in. This is all happening in real time, and obviously there was a lot of concern. And I was thinking of my own child because my daughter played sports for a really, really long time, and I have to imagine that's what his mom was thinking because she was on the sidelines, and just automatically you just go to what his mom had to be feeling.
Could imagine.
Just how.
And there's a difference
heartbreaking
between
that is.
seeing your son or daughter injured on a field to them doing CPR.
Yeah.
Like that's a horse of a different color
Yeah.
right there.
And a lot of people said it took a really long time. Like it took like an hour for the NFL to come out and say, yeah, we're postponing this game.
Was that the right move?
They should be prepared, I think. They should know. And 5-10 years ago, I'm betting that game would have gone on. that they would have continued play. But because so much light has been cast on the health of the players, not only mentally but physically, I think they did the right thing by postponing the game and just stopping it. But it did take a while. And that's one of those things that you don't want to misstep, you don't want to misspeak.
And it sounded like it was the coaches and the quarterbacks that ultimately said, hey, you guys do what you want. We're not playing this game tonight.
Exactly. So I think it was the right move.
The thing that I noticed watching that is it took me back to when Dan Weldon's accident took place in the Las Vegas IndyCar race. Dan Weldon died in the race. The news came down, and they decided to cancel the race after that point. And it reminded me of that. I think the right decision was made not to play the game again. I don't know what they're going to do in terms of rescheduling it, because there are, player ramifications and, season ramifications for this game. Do you give everybody a tie or what's going on? I don't know what they're going to do.
No, I think they'll probably get together and find, didn't they have a bye week coming up?
No. No, it's one more week of the season and then the playoffs start. You do have that off week between the Super Bowl and the championship games. So maybe you just move everything back a week, but man, I don't know.
One more Sunday of misery for Colts fans, then it ends mercifully.
Well, it was, I think the announcers did a really good job because this is going to be part of the NFL legacy. Do you know what I mean?
I got you.
This will be with the NFL forever.
Was this a unifying moment for the country? Because again, this was a big Monday night game. This was like the first good Monday night game in a long time. The Bills and the Bengals and Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, and all eyes were pretty much on this game, and the whole country saw this. And it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat, everybody was saying thoughts and prayers to this young man's family.
Yeah, I do think it was a unifying moment, and I think especially when you saw the players and Joe Burrow and just all the guys that are on the field, even the opposing team, they were all there for each other, praying for the one guy, and so yeah, I think it brought it down that this is a game. This is supposed to be fun.
Right.
And, when you think about like the fridge, the former Chicago player.
Oh, yeah, William Perry.
Yeah, William Perry, 350 pounds, right? But he wasn't all muscle like they are now. I mean, these guys are big and strong, and they're playing hard. And, yeah, there's danger there. And it's supposed to be fun.
We played some audio earlier in our program of Skip Bayless against Shannon Sharp. Now, Skip Bayless is a controversial sports commentator. Shannon, of course, former NFL player, played with the Denver Broncos and the Ravens. So Skip Bayless puts out kind of a tasteless tweet after the injury.
He got
basically
beat up
saying,
about that,
the injury is the most important thing, but this is an important game too. Blah, 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 blah. What's going to happen? Insinuating that the game should probably be played and move on. Well, Shannon Sharp didn't show up to work yesterday, the day after the game.
Really?
Just mailed it in. And Skip Bayless goes on the air and kind of does a half-assed, I don't want to say apology because he didn't apologize. He just said the tweet came out in a weird way. Well, Shannon Sharp came back today, and those two had a little awkward back and forth. So I guess my question to you, Casey, is if you're going to be a paid broadcaster covering the NFL or covering anything, the day after something serious like that happens, you have to be at work, right? Like none of us want to talk about school shootings. None of us want to talk about the FedEx massacre, but we showed up the next day having to talk about it. Shannon Sharp's angle was, he was upset with Skip, but he also was shook up about what happened on the field. And I get that, but people want to hear from you.
You know what, Hammer, I was on the air when OJ ran. I was on the air during the Oklahoma City bombing. I was on the air when 9/11 happened. And that's, your listeners are counting on you, your viewers, your audience. They want to hear your perspective. That's why you're there, to help guide them through that.
And Shannon gets paid
a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. Big time compared to what I make.
Right.
So, yeah, I get it that it's affecting him personally, but a lot of things affect you personally.
Right.
So like, you've got to show up.
When you say, I think it's weak for him not to show up. People are going to come at me on social media and go, how dare you say what another man should feel? But if you're a broadcaster, this is a different gig, man. Yeah. You're expected to be there the next day to talk about the tough things. It's not like it happened to his family. It happened in the sport that he covers.
Right. You got to work through it. I'm sorry. Showing up, that's half the battle.
Before we let you go, were you, I got confused yesterday. Hammer, I know you weren't here. Were you the one that got robbed the DeSantis hoodie, or was that a member of his family?
No, that was his mom who got him the DeSantis hoodie. I got him the Rush Limbaugh book, the latest
that's right.
book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think of DeSantis after him being inaugurated?
My gosh.
I mean, he's angling for a 2024 run. I think I would seem like
Yes. It was the one time recently that I wished I was still in Tallahassee, because just seeing that Capitol building, it's right there on Monroe, and it's not like our Capitol here in Indianapolis. It's not a dome. It's this huge, tall building. It's a historic building with these red awnings, and the Spanish moss trees are just all over the place. And I saw the crowd, and I thought, man, I should be right there on Monroe Street cheering on Big Daddy DeSantis. But I was amazed by it. And especially, I got to take a moment to mention what Casey DeSantis was wearing. She looked like a first lady in waiting. I don't know, you guys, did you notice it? It was a seafoam green dress. She had gloves on.
Beautiful.
It had a cape, like she's a superhero.
That's originally what Nigel was going to wear to a night with WIBC, I believe.
Something with a foam dress and a cape.
You should have gone with that. But yeah, I thought the whole thing was great. I thought his speech was great. He didn't shy away from quoting the Bible, and that showed his conviction. And, he said Florida's the land of sanity and liberty, and hopefully he'll spread that message to the rest of the country.
You got some side pieces coming up?
Yeah, up there online right now is why Hoosiers don't keep New Year's resolutions, and it has to do with geography.
And we love pork tenderloins.
Yeah, that too.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. We're coming back.
Hi guys, it's Mark. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction? Did you know that a major medical breakthrough is now available and it isn't a pill? Today, Wednesday, January 4th, we're running a one-day special you won't want to miss out on. Pine Grove Medical Clinic uses the most powerful form of wave therapy. This is a technology clinically shown to repair blood vessels and improve blood flow. It's backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge. If you're ready to regain the spark in your bedroom, today is your day. Call us now and you'll qualify for the assessment and ultrasound totally free. You'll also get a gift that can produce rapid and powerful results in the bedroom in minutes. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. And today only, we're offering 6 tune-up treatments to our patients free. This is an unprecedented offer worth hundreds of dollars, but call today and qualify totally free. Call 317-552-1111. That's 317-552-1111. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your life back. Call Pine Grove Medical Clinic now to qualify. This offer ends today, Wednesday. 317-552-1111.
We say Merry Christmas at R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. We recently saved one of Indy's oldest small businesses over $5,000 per month on their group coverage for 10 employees. We are saving early retiring clients 50% when compared to their COBRA coverage. Now they can afford to retire. You've been told the ACA, it's still Obamacare, is your only option on individual coverage. If you're sick and you don't have any income, that's true. If you are reasonably healthy and have a livable household income, the ACA is your worst option. You've also been told if enrolled, you must keep your coverage for a year. That is also not true. Don't let the federal government or the big insurance company cronies tell you that you don't have a choice. Call us at 317-435-1718 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-435-1718 or rragency.org. We can help. Give us a call. What do you got to lose? As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for plenty of advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and foundation, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight guaranteed, only $49.99. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. This hypnosis is designed to destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars Thursday, January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking 8 p.m. And Saturday, January 21st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m. Stop smoking 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
We all have that friend who wakes up early to go get everyone McDonald's breakfast, while the rest of us sleep in. This is your sign to thank them. And if you're that friend, this is us saying thank you.
Rise and shine with delicious morning deals like 2 for $5 breakfast. Choose from the tasty sausage McMuffin with egg or egg McMuffin. Any two for just $5. Breakfast hours only. Single item at regular price. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. For hunting, sporting, and personal protection gear, visit the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show.
Families in poverty are facing a global food crisis. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
East side, northbound 465, stop and go Pin Pike to Allisonville Road. That's a work zone between 69 and Allisonville. The center lane is blocked. Hopefully they'll be done around 6 tonight. Shouldn't be too much longer. Hopefully. Inbound 65 stops at 21st Street. Then on the east side, southbound 465, stop and go from 70 down to Brookville Road. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
43 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
An entire hour of the Hammer and Nigel show coming up. Was it Hammer? Were you the one that was telling me about Yellowstone and how the actors have to go through cowboy boot camp?
Yes.
Because I watched that show, but I did not know that piece of trivia, which I guess makes sense. You can't just go riding off into the sunset in the mountains on a horse and not know what you're doing. Being an actor doesn't really help you. You probably
Getting bucked off every single scene.
Probably physically have to know what you're doing. You were the one so they have to go through cowboy boot camp, which sounds pretty cool.
So Cole Hauser, who plays Rip on Yellowstone.
Oh, my wife loves Rip.
Mentioned that the boot camp was back in November, and he said that they taught him roping and reining during boot camp. Now, there's a couple spinoffs of Yellowstone.
Yeah.
1923, Brian Garrity plays Zane, and he says, quote, "You got to not only ride a horse in boot camp, but also look like you know what you're doing. We were running on horses, lassoing. I learned how to use an old 6-shooter. There's weapons training, all kinds of fun stuff."
Now, because I know Rob Kendall is down on Yellowstone. He said he tried watching it. He said it's the dumbest thing. He said it's a ripoff of Dallas.
Now, I like Dallas. J.R. Ewing is awesome. Don't get me wrong. Fun fact, if we would have had another kid, his name would have been John Ross Hammer for J.R. Ewing.
All right, so I say yes. If you're thinking about taking up Yellowstone, my wife and I love it, and we watched some of the spinoffs. We watched the Tim McGraw one with Faith Hill, 1883. I haven't seen, or is it 1823? I forget, but we haven't watched the 1923 yet. It looks awesome.
I haven't seen a single episode of any of these, and I'm not against it. Like, it's a big investment to get into a show. And my time is, limited, and I got a lot of things to gamble on, and man, I just don't know if I have the time, but it looks like it's a fun show. I might get into it.
It's one of the few shows my wife and I can agree on, because most of the time it's Bravo and Little People, Big World type shows, and Divorced Housewives type shows. And this one is something that her and I can share together.
Sounds like Mrs. Nige dominates the TV in the Laskowski house.
She does in our bedroom anyway. I'm relegated to the basement for sure. All right, we're coming back. An entire hour of the Hammer and Nigel show coming up next, 93 WIBC.
Imagine if you could get a 35% bonus when you invest your money. That's right. If you invest $100,000, you get a $35,000 bonus. If you invest $200,000, you get a $70,000 bonus. And if it sounds too good to be true, it's not. And guess what? You'll sleep well at night knowing your money is protected by one of the highest-rated insurance companies in the world. It's Terry Stacy, and to learn more about this 35% bonus, call Bill Demery, my retirement guy, at 317-972-9172. A little diversification outside of the stock market could be a really good thing right about now. But this 35% bonus won't last forever. So call 317-972-9172. 317-972-9172.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Every small business owner knows business happens everywhere. The office, the warehouse, or on the road. And no matter where it takes you, there's one solution to help your business thrive. Comcast Business Complete Connectivity. It's the largest, fastest, reliable network with advanced gig speed Wi-Fi and cyber threat protection in one solution. Plus, add Comcast Business Mobile and you can save up to 60% a year on your wireless bill. Get started for just $40 a month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. And ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card.
Flight 291 is now boarding.
Yep, you're going places. And when you get there, be ready to do business. The complete connectivity solution from the company that powers more small businesses than any other provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/21/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New 100 megabits per second internet and Comcast Business Security Edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Gig internet required for gig Wi-Fi. Mobile savings compares pricing of top 3 carriers.
There's the good parts we all think about. The crackling of wood on a cold winter night, the warmth and glow in the room. And then there's the other part. The stale campfire smell, the potentially dangerous creosote buildup. It's easy to forget about the importance of fireplace maintenance. The certified professionals at Chimney Solutions Indiana can keep your fireplace clean and safe using trusted products and repair techniques. Call 317-757-6979 or go to chimneyindy.com.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Alex Brown. Governor Eric Holcomb today unveiled his 2023 Next Level Agenda just days before the next session of the Indiana General Assembly begins. The agenda includes a 2-year, $43 billion budget that increases spending by $5.5 billion. And Holcomb says there will still be plenty left over.
We'll be mindful not to spend more than we have. This budget that we'll submit tomorrow at 10 a.m. does not do that. In fact, it's leaving 14.4% in reserves.
Among the many agenda items is another $500 million for a second round of the Regional Economic Acceleration and Development Initiative. Indianapolis-based Flaherty & Collins Properties says it will invest $80 million in 4 housing developments, including 3 in Indiana. 2 of the projects are upgrades on buildings in South Bend and Hebron, while the other 2 projects are adaptive reuses of commercial and historic buildings to create more affordable housing in Indianapolis and Kansas City, Missouri. The former CEO of Indianapolis-based TechPoint has a new gig in Indy. Mike Langelier has joined High Alpha as operating partner and head of new ventures, and the venture studio says he will help discover, refine, and launch new tech companies. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
I'm Christopher Day, the CEO of Elevate Ventures. We are the #1 most active venture capital firm in the Great Lakes region and number 20 in the U.S. We invest in innovative Indiana companies. Today, Indiana has monikers including Amateur Sports Capital World, Racing Capital World, and Crossroads of America. Now is our opportunity as a state to chart the next 50 years. The productivity boom is well underway, and Indiana has the opportunity to become the innovation capital of the world. Visit elevateventures.com/whyindiana to learn more.
Global cloud computing powerhouse Salesforce was mum this morning about the effect on its Indianapolis operations of a major restructuring plan that will eliminate about 10% of its workforce company-wide and shrink its real estate footprint. San Francisco-based Salesforce is the signature tenant in downtown Indianapolis's 48-story Salesforce Tower, where it leases a significant chunk of space over multiple floors. Indianapolis Zoo CEO Rob Shoemaker is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. I'm Alex Brown for 93 WIBC.
Life, there is no free lunch. Are you prepared? Do you have a plan? Who can you trust?
You can trust the NFCC, the nation's largest nonprofit network of credit counseling and financial education organizations. Our certified professionals will help you learn basic financial skills and give you the tools to meet financial challenges with confidence. Come learn with us at nfcc.org.
It's your money. Get smart about it.
A public service from the NFCC.
Deidre Hall with a message about your eye health. My mother had age-related macular degeneration, or